It wasn't always so political. It just keeps going in like this way, like this. This is where everyone was at one point. Then slowly, it just kind of kept going like this. And little.
I like how these spineless fucking cucks won't actually say what's going on, and they just pretend it's like randomly happening. Like Hasan is literally like, he comes up to this guy's table, he takes a shit in his fucking cereal, and then he starts eating it. He's like, I don't know what's going on, guys, but I feel like cereal just doesn't taste the same way it used to.
Hasan Piker was dressed like Mao, and
dude, this is Fox News, brother. What is happening? What is happening? This is tan suit, Fox News style.
Fox News, tan suit, you disgusting, you roach fuck. Oh my god, tan suit, Fox News stuff. Like, you're just lying, bro, because you're a pussy-ass bitch. Above everything that you know, just know at the end of the day that I am a 5'8", weird little, comes from fucking Cuban white trash family, brokey fuck, who flunked out of music school. And Hasan is mad because he's not as smart as me, because he gets cucked and he feels bad about it. He was crying on Trainwreck's podcast because he dated a porn star. This guy calls me a pedophile, and he was openly bragging about going to fucking Diddy parties. This guy tries to pretend that I'm a fucking sex pest sex freak, and this guy was talking about finger banging trans people and sending nudes to all of his friends. He's the most insecure, weak-willed motherfucker on the planet. This guy can't handle the slightest, tiniest bit of pushback anywhere.
If all people would look at a single chat log and try to determine anything.
Ban clip on LSF. It's so funny. Here is the link.
Israel is actually engaging in an apartheid, which is a crime in and of itself. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza.
What? No chat?
What did they react to? I forgot. That was a step at the event, and somebody signed an or.
You played a kid's game.
I don't give a shit.
Chill,
Chat,
buddy.
I don't get. I don't get what he says. I don't get this. Doesn't agree with me.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what the context is. When it's a message that has violence in it.
10 years ago,
as a creator, it's your job to contextualize and make it at least, even if at a glance
it's your job to contextualize? The fucking link is in the fucking chat log. What are you talking about, you fucking retard? What am I supposed to do? Do I have to find a way to embed video in fucking text? Like, oh, here's DGG. I used fucking Claude GPT 4.7 to make the fucking ASCII text thing morph to the video that are linked in chat. What the fuck? The link is literally right there. What more? That is the context. It's just crazy that, like, you have to provide the context. I literally link exactly what I'm responding to. I need to learn how to do the worm. I need a worm on this guy.
God. And so this is what happened. And I do think that...
Wait, what the fuck? They're just giving him Imgur links with, like, Destiny subreddit? Oh, God. They're so lame, dude. They all work together. Hate him in public. Did he get recruited into Gryffindor? What is he trying to wear?
Yeah, because this is how Hasan gets all of his info. I mean, the difference is I'm open with my shit. Well, firstly, I get my shit from my YouTube editors. I don't give anything to fucking Asmongold. But I don't know why he wouldn't assume that Asmongold doesn't have a whole bunch of people that give him shit, too. I'm pretty sure that's how this works. The only difference is Hasan's are all Chinese. And Asmongold's is Russian. Unironically true. I mean, it is. That one guy, his editor is Russian, but whatever, it's all good.
Some people to get a restraining order on Destiny. I think the answer is no. Unless proof is provided of stalking and harassing as a public figure, when someone is keeping up with the things you say in public, then I don't think you need a restraining order. He goes to an event and Destiny goes to the event. Destiny can't get into the event because Hasan is there. It makes him look very bad when this happens. If he has a restraining order, then he can point to that as a reason. He is just looking for a legal ability to not have to be pressed by Destiny and not willing to interact with him. So yeah, no, he is actually legally stalking and harassing me. It has definitely gotten to that point. And not only that, but he's also openly admitted it on numerous occasions. So I think there's sufficient evidence to do so.
Okay.
I mean, if I had literally done a fraction of what Destiny has been saying about me, trying to identify where I'm at in real time, saying someone's got to do it, someone should kill this guy. Hasan has said enough that is like it's worthy of killing him, and also openly admitting to harassment of this sort. Right, this incel freak who's admitted to being a part of the part of DGG and being excited to meet Hasan was actually one that was harassed. It would be hilarious if he was like, DGGs were harassing me at the event, and thus I was unable to show up for fear of my life or something like that. Can you imagine? That would be fucking hysterical. So it's really funny.
Nice.
Are you really afraid of a gnome, though? No, of course not, dude. I'm just fucking grossed out by him. And on top of that, it's been 7 years, and he's not let up. And his freak-ass audience are constantly trying to, you know, intercept me in the real world at the direction of Destiny.
Oh, my God. Intercept him.
It is stalking. It is organized harassment. It's organized stalking and organized harassment. No other content creator has done anything of the sort to another content creator.
It's the worst
If I behaved like this to Asmongold, you guys would fucking call me out.
Asmongold doesn't leave his house. What does that even mean?
100%. Like, can you imagine if I was like, someone needs to keep track of Asmongold at all times?
Yeah, we do. It's called his house. He's at his house at all times. What do you mean?
And put it on a website? Or if I had said something like, oh, Asmongold deserves to be, you know, X'd, I'm not going to say it. I don't even want the
Like you
fucking
do
clip
with
to be out
politicians?
there.
He's gonna be pissed at
That's
us
what
when
Destiny
he
has said
gets a
about me.
private jet and there's a jet tracker
Oh
on it. He's gonna
no,
lose it.
not the jet tracker.
He's gonna lose it.
And this is over the course of like the last 7 years, right?
Right.
Over the course of the last 7 years. Yes, you heard that correctly. For the last 7 years. So, like, Nick Fuentes has not gone to this level with Ben Shapiro. Nick Fuentes has done something similar to Ben Shapiro. He's done something similar to Charlie Kirk. But even he has not gone as hard, as obsessive about stalking and constantly harassing, cyber harassing, smearing everyone and anyone that they're associated with.
Cyber harassing and smearing everyone they're associated with. This is what you guys do.
Yeah, summary of his post calling on violence. Yeah, you have a moral obligation to bully the fuck out of this guy if you've ever seen him at one of your protests.
True.
Don't let CCP agitators pay to
It's called protesting, buddy. Welcome to politics.
agitators infiltrate liberal crowds of protest, make his presence as uncomfortable as possible until he's forced to pack up and fuck off back to his WEO mansion. His location should be publicly available at all times while he's live streaming.
True.
If Dan wants to do something useful and still be a Hasan hater, he should create a track Hasan X account that posts his current location when he's out of protest.
Still hasn't done this.
I honestly think you could perfectly justify attacking killing Hasan IRL for statements like this.
For statements like what? What? Statements like what? Hello? Where's the goose? Like what? Like what, Hasan? What did you say, Hasan? I don't know if he ever actually touches what he actually said when he's running through his like greatest hits here, by the way.
Just a heads up, I'm gonna be doing some mass harassment campaigns on every single journalist who gives this guy free interviews from now on. He's talking about me. Someone's gonna die soon in this space. I'm pretty sure there's literally nowhere else to go at this point. I'm not sure who, but I think it will happen. It will happen soon.
Why?
Like that's sufficient.
Wait, why
you
though?
You show these logs to any law enforcement guy. They're gonna be like, no, you're on the money. This is over the course of like numerous years as well. Many of this is like recent, 2025 and 2026. So for Asmongold to turn around and be like, yeah, he's just like worried about debating him. Yeah, it's pussy shit. Asmongold is worried about debating me and also Destiny as well. Asmongold is terrified of debating Destiny. He's also terrified of debating me as well, ironically.
It's so funny, the awkward triangle that both Asmongold and Hasan do this. That like they throw me as a weapon at the other person for like, well, I don't have to debate you because you won't debate Destiny. And Asmongold's like, well, I'm not going to debate you unless you debate Destiny. It's like, oh my God.
Why the fuck would this be appropriate at all? It's a guy who's like, been obsessed. Psychotically obsessed and has now moved on to IRL stalking.
How does that even make sense? Asmongold's obsessed with being friends with you? His audience is fucking massive.
I know. This is like the reason why all of the snarking shit, I think maybe because they stay in the echo chamber so long and their talking points are retarded. Like they don't even remotely make sense.
I could see if he was saying it the other way. Like
if I was trying to suck up to Asmongold, Destiny's just trying really hard because he's trying to get clout on with Asmongold. And it's a better conspiracy theory too. Asmongold is a natural ally of his because they're both right wing. He says that all the time. Asmongold doesn't go after Israel that hard at all, and Destiny's a massive Zionist. Asmongold is one of the largest streamers on Twitch, so Destiny probably hopes that if he gets close enough to Asmongold, he'll be able to slide back into Twitch and get unbanned by having Asmongold exert some influence. Destiny's been talking about going on Soda Poppin' and Nick's podcast all the time, and Asmongold is a mutual friend of everybody's. Like, there's like a billion better conspiracies that you could spin, but he always goes for like the most retarded thing. One of the conspiracies I saw, or not conspiracies, one of the talking points I saw, I don't remember if this was from Gisticle and the Snarker people or if it was on Kiwi Farms. People were saying like Destiny is super insecure because he flunked out of college because he had to drop college because he's working too much, and that's like a huge insecurity. It's just like the most like, why would somebody not to jerk myself off, but like if I'm known as like an online intellectual debater type or whatever fucking person, why would I be ashamed that I didn't go to college? Wouldn't that be like a point of pride? Like it's just like they pick the dumbest fucking things to try to harp on, or like, oh, like he used to be a carpet cleaner. Yeah, and now I'm like an e-celeb that I like. Gee, like what a weird way to even think. Like it's not even that it's a stupid insult. It's like, why would you even think this is like hitting hard with anything? Like I mean, it's so dumb. I don't know. It's just all of it is like so stupid to me, and. The biggest annoyance is just all the protection he gets, and that all these other fucking losers kowtow to it, that they let him like bully me off of these areas. Because like I said, like the only reason why these crazy conspiracies about me work is because nobody ever has to actually see him come into contact with me in any way, size, shape, or form, because everything collapses immediately because they're just so obviously stupid.
Down interview with ABC's Jonathan. During a sit-down interview with ABC's Jonathan Karl, Bill Maher said that his vote is in play and that he might vote for J.D. Vance in 2028, which means I am finally officially in the fuck Bill Maher camp, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel,
just as a heads up, just based on what I heard from J.D. Vance or whatever, just as a heads up, if we cannot find a way to shake these weirdo, crazy, commie, Mao, whatever losers from our party, J.D. Vance is easily a more reasonable appearing vote based on the shit he was saying on Joe Rogan. If he can distance himself from the more problematic aspects of Trump's administration, if he's able to separate himself from the Iran war and the crazy trade policy and just kind of be like the standard slopulist, like isolationist or whatever, that's going to appeal to way more people than looking at a party that can't say no to people that dress up like fucking Mao and Stalin and say they did nothing wrong. That's fucking crazy. Like, that's going to be the case. I'm sorry. Like, even the conservatives, while courting the votes of neo-Nazis, are able to disavow neo-Nazism. Like, they're pretty steadfast on that, on trying to say, oh, no, we don't do the neo-Nazi stuff. Oh, no. Even the Conservative Party can do that in the United States. Like,
please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, we're going to dive right on in. This is about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I want to play the full segment because it's fascinating, because ABC's Jonathan Karl plays the devil's advocate. He brings up many of the problems that exist within the Republican Party and yet still probes Bill Maher about how willing he is to eventually vote Republican. It's a fascinating exchange. We'll break it down during the analysis, and then at the very end, I will conclude with where I stand on Bill Maher. But spoiler alert, I'm in the fuck you Bill Maher camp.
Outcomes. I won, you cheated. And you pushed J.D. Vance on this. He did not... Yeah, that's what I love about those Republicans. The first thing I said to him was, it's so odd, isn't it, that like, I didn't vote for you. Yeah. And yet you guys come to the show and take your beating like a man. Yeah. The Democrats don't come, and yet they got my vote. It's just odd, isn't it?
Yeah, why is that? So what is that all about? I mean, you get some Democrats.
Democrats are cowardly. Yeah. They're cowardly. Their party is being taken over now by, every day I hear about a new, very radical. I feel very good about, like 10 whenever years ago, like I did lose fans because,
Like how, yeah, he lost fans because in the past he was fucking retarded. He was actually crazy. But I hate how you have these stupid criticisms and then as time goes on, they start to become more self-fulfilling, and now the dumb shit in the past, people try to post hoc justify past retarded shit. Like people do this with Israel-Palestine. Maybe at some point, maybe there's like some leaked logs or leaked memos, or maybe at some point Netanyahu's like, I think we're going to lose funding from the U.S. The Palestinians need to go. We will eliminate the Palestinian people in Gaza. We don't believe that is a people that needs to exist anymore. We're in a new time and a new era. And I'd be like, oh shit, he's on some that's some hardcore genocide shit, fam. He's on some actual crazy genocide shit. Just because I have that opinion doesn't mean I was wrong 2 years ago or 3 years ago, right? But like as time goes on, there might be new facts that come out, there might be new behaviors that happen, and then you adjust your opinion, right? But now Bill Maher is and he's about to say it, right? Oh, I knew these guys were fucking crazy back when they were saying cops shouldn't be killing black people. So now I'm even more confident in the fact that I might support a Republican. It's like, Jesus fuck, guys, come on, holy shit. What happens to this era of boomer Dems that end up getting brain rotted with this stuff? I don't think most boomer Dems are. I think it's mainly young people and super white people and super wealthy people. Super white. I mean, look at all the DSA types, like the demographic breakdown from where their voters were coming from. The people online are all super white and super wealthy, like compared to the norm. This is why they hate the black people in the party too.
I wasn't going to go along with some of this crazy stuff on the left, too. I didn't change really on what I thought about the right, but I can't sit and just not notice stuff, which people seem to want to do because it's all about my team or your team. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff. When we're cheering for the Intifada, I'm out.
Fucking crazy. I don't know if you saw
Jay Clayton.
So I want to stop right there for just a second. So in terms of cheering on the Intifada, that is a fringe position that is not represented in the halls of elected Democratic power. AOC isn't cheering on the Intifada.
Like, this is true, but like, the president of Harvard couldn't condemn anti-Semitism. Jesus fucking Christ, okay? The conservatives run wild with this shit. And I know that they do have the media ecosystem that I talk about, okay? But like, when nobody in the party seems to be able, because we don't have a party head, we don't have like a speaker for our party that represents us, mainly because all the people that we do get, like, I don't think Josiah does this, but other leftists will spend all their time trying to tear these people down, our Pelosi's, our Schumer's, our Jeffries, whatever else, right? When nobody in the party can call these people out, then people will look at you a little bit funny. It's actually funny. I think if you go back like maybe like 8 years, did I say this in 2017 or 2018? There was a time when I gave a take where I said, it took me a long time to figure this out, but I was confused for why so many people have an impression of Democrats and what Democrats believe when clearly the majority of the party doesn't believe this thing. I don't know how so many people have this idea. And one of the ideas that I landed upon was that I think the reason why people don't know what the Democratic Party believes sometimes isn't because you'll get one mom to come out on Twitter. And I think this is the example I use. A mom will come out on Twitter and say, like, my 4-year-old is a trans person, right? Because how many people are doing this shit? It's like nobody. This is an incredibly fringe, weirdo, whatever position, right? That's fine. But then it's like, well, why do so many people believe this? One is because the right does do propaganda well. But another thing is on the left, people will jump out and like defend it. Or at the very least, they won't attack it. And it's like, well, what the fuck is everybody going to think then if you don't say anything about it, Ugh.
New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is not cheering on the Intifada. There are active...
No, but like his wife and the people around him all seem to be fans of like your October 8th parades, and like that's just not good enough. It also comes across, and I don't even know if people have made this connection yet, it also comes across as insanely hypocritical when the same people that are willing to look sideways at so much insane anti-Semitism and everything else, the platinum tattoo and everything else. Remember, I'm being told now by people that 16 years of having a Nazi tattoo is meaningless, and these were the same people that were scouring photos online of people making the OK symbol to see if they were covert Nazis. What the fuck? How did the same group of people go from A to B? What? Like that just, it doesn't make sense, you know?
This, and there are political commentators and there are political agitators who don't hold elected power, who may hold these very fringe psychotic positions, but they're not representative of the Democratic Party's base and certainly not the Democratic Party's elected leaders. So this is where it's like, Bill, you're shadowboxing a boogeyman. I might have to leave the Democratic Party because a couple of these crazy people in a mass movement comprised of tens of millions of Americans are saying shit I don't like. Oh, are they the presidential candidate for 2028? Well, no. Okay, well, are they a Democratic senator? Well, no. Are they a Democratic governor? Well, no. Are they a Democratic representative? Well, no. Well, then what are you so afraid of? If the idea is that there literally can be no crazies in a political movement for you to support a political movement or a political...
It's when nobody can disavow the crazies, everybody looks at you weird. And they should. They're right to. I mean, like, and it's only growing as well. Like, you can make a lot of these same arguments about MAGA, right? Like, where the fuck did MAGA come from? Part of that was the Republican fucking their messaging up and assuming that movement would never get as big as it actually did. This was posted 7 hours ago by the College Democrat Association. That's what the CDA is, right? Or, I'm sorry, the College Democrats of America. Fuck you. Jewish Caucus. Statement on Hasan Piker's appearance at College Democrats of America Convention 2026. By the way, and I don't know what other branches of the CDA or whatever there are, if nobody else comes out in the CDA and says anything and it's just the Jews, it's like a million times worse. That's going to be fucking crazy. You guys really just fucking hang them out to dry. But maybe other orgs or other branches or whatever will. Who knows? We'll see. The College Democrats of America's Jewish Caucus condemns the platforming of streamer and activist Hasan Piker at CDA Convention 2026. Piker has a long-standing history of anti-Semitic rhetoric, including maligning Orthodox Jews as inbred, referring to a Jewish man as a bloodthirsty pig dog, and dismissing allegations of sexual violence committed by Hamas on October 7th as rape fantasies. Good collection of 3 things. Apparently Jews are the only fucking people that can coherently advocate sometimes for their interests, but that is a good set of things to fixate on and not just random shit. But okay. There's even... Okay, yeah. Piker also has a record of misogynistic and anti-American statements, including claiming that America deserved 9/11 and joking about date rape on college campuses. These 2 are a little weaker, but still okay. They play well to the public. The normalization of Piker and his rhetoric and CDA-sanctioned programming is a direct threat to Jewish safety and inclusion within the College Democrats community. Applying a double standard to the safety representation of Jewish students is a manifestation of anti-Semitism and is inconsistent with our shared democratic values of inclusion, respect, blah, blah, blah. Just proud to be part of the Big Ten of CDA's membership and stands firmly against political censorship. However, bigoted rhetoric should be disqualifying, and the choice of who represents this organization tells members who is welcome within it. Elevating Piker at this convention sent Jewish students a clear message that they were not welcome. Anti-Semitism has taken root across the political spectrum, and young people are particularly susceptible to its influence. The same standard CDA would rightly apply to bigotry on the right must be applied within our organization. Likewise, treating the fight against anti-Semitism as a partisan weapon only makes it more difficult to defeat. Amid attempts to organize a walkout during Piker's appearance, attendees were permitted to enter but prevented from exiting by national board members, citing security concerns. Delegates from at least one state were advised not to post photos with Piker on official accounts to avoid further controversy. Seriously? Holy shit.
They stopped the Jews from leaving. They locked him in. What the hell?
The CDA Jewish Caucus calls on the national leadership responsible for Convention 2026 to issue a formal apology for providing Piker with a platform and for restricting members from exiting the room. We further call on the newly elected national leadership of CDA to publicly condemn the anti-Semitic and misogynistic comments outlined above and commit to ongoing dialogue with all caucuses, including the Jewish Caucus, regarding future programming. Jesus Christ.
Did you see the thing that I just DM'd you?
Yeah, I haven't read it on the string yet, though. Hold on.
Okay.
Destiny, I was president of my college Dems and interact with National all the time. I don't think you understand how disconnected this all is. You're painting a brush of intention and structure that doesn't exist. No. What I'm telling you is how it will be viewed and should be viewed to the rest of the country. If it really is as disconnected as you say, then you should just leave. You should disband. And that's it. That's super simple. Why would you ever want to share a slogan or share a brand name with another entity that you have no oversight over, no control over, no say in? All you're going to be doing, the only thing that's going to happen is you're just going to be roped in with all the crazy shit they say. That's stupid. That's a stupid, yeah.
Party? You can't support anybody, Bill, because any mass political movement on the left or the right will have insane outliers. The question is how...
have to finish this video, and then I have to do my panel at 7. You can come in after if he wants.
I gotta
How much of that fringe view is represented in the leadership? This one is not, and Bill's obsessed with it, pretending that it's a bigger issue than what it is. But let's continue.
I need to be the head director of national intelligence. Had a hearing, just had a hearing, and he was asked who won the 2020 election. Did Joe Biden win the 2020 election? And he can't not answer. Now, Jay Clayton is a very serious guy with serious credentials, serious lawyer, former prosecutor, and he can't say who won the 2020 election.
Either could Vice President Vance on
your show.
Yeah, they can't because they know he's watching. They know where their bread is buttered. What's important to J.D. Vance, who, by the way, we had a good time. I had a good time with him, too. You know, these are people. I always say it, you know, everybody's a monster until you talk to them. You can disagree with them a lot. But, you know, he has to do that. Trump is watching. And there's a kind of a working thing with those kind of guys. You know, it's like, you know he's crazy. I know he's crazy. I know you're saying this because you have to because he's watching. You know I know. And let's just not, like, pretend this is the end of the world because this is just what the world is.
Okay. This is where Bill is almost unrecognizable here, right? And again, I'll save my full thoughts as far as Bill himself at the very end, but I want you to hear, Jonathan was very clever there. He's like, okay, so you're worried about this fringe view about cheering on the Intifada in a fringe part, a vocal but fringe part of the Democratic coalition that is not represented in the halls of power, in the House, in the Senate, in the presidency, in the judiciary, in governors' mansions. Okay, you're freaking out about it. But what about this powerful figure in the Trump administration, Jay Clayton, who was previously seen as bipartisan and respected and sensible, who won't admit that Joe Biden won the 2020 election, which you, famously, Bill Maher, have criticized and condemned the Republican Party about for years. You said that that was your big issue. He even said it here. Yeah, it's my big issue with them. Well, he's not some sort of fringe random actor on Twitter. He's not some sort of fringe activist on social media. He is going to be the director of national intelligence, and he won't confirm an obvious fact that Joe Biden won the election. And you say that's your biggest issue. That's not more of a red alert for you than some Gen Z TikToker saying that they're cheering on the Intifada? How are you at the point where you're weighing something that's infinitely less important
people around
and
the
significant,
mayor of New York
heavier
now,
than something that's considerably more important and significant?
And the issue, too, is that, like, if they're dumb people on TikTok, then you should just be able to say, like, oh, yeah, these people don't represent us. But no, it feels like no liberal media person, content creator, whatever, it seems to be able to do it. And these things keep coming up to the national level where they are hurting us. Most famously, the BLM stuff and I keep saying the BLM stuff. I should say the defund the police stuff was a thing that we couldn't push back on, and it was somewhat ruinous.
You might have a point if the House Minority Leader or the Senate Minority Leader were taking this fringe position, but they're not. Meanwhile, in the MAGA movement, the fringe, crazy fascist position is mainstream, and it's represented not just in the President of the United States, but also basically pretty much every key figure in the entire Republican Party, elected or otherwise. Instead, he almost sweeps it under the rug. No, I haven't heard about that. Well, maybe you should be spending more time on that, Bill, than swiping through TikTok, triggering yourself, rage-baiting yourself with what some cringe Gen Z, leftist is saying. And also, he says, actually, yeah, the vice president does the same thing. The vice president won't admit who won the 2020 election, but there's a wink and a nod. He has to say that. No, Bill, he has agency. Vance is a man, at least on paper. He should be able to, no, fuck, Joe Biden obviously won the 2020 election, Bill. What are you talking about? That's what a man would say. And now you're giving him excuse. Oh, he's got to say that because Trump is watching. Okay, Bill. Well, then I guess we can just start making bullshit excuses for anything on the left that you don't like. They got to say that. It's for the clicks. They got to say that because of X, Y, and Z reason. How does it work? How do you totally strip the right from agency? They got to say that shit, man. I don't like it, but they got to say that. Meanwhile, have you seen what this 22-year-old on TikTok had to say? Maybe I have to leave the Democratic Party now. It's just insane. And then to say that everybody's monsters until you meet them. Would you say the same thing about the cheering on the Intifada, nameless people that you're bitching about? Would you like to have a conversation with them? Would you like rub shoulders and rub elbows with them and treat them with charity? It's insane. We're finally seeing the full rot of Bill Maher's brain metastasize.
Now let's move on to something substantive.
But it is a problem if you have an entire political party, an entire political movement that doesn't recognize.
Are you closer to Maher or Mayor Maher? It's Bill Maher or Josiah on this topic. In terms of like where I would vote, 1 trillion % closer to Josiah. But in terms of like where the electorate is going to go, you can't lack the ability to police your party. And if you can't, it's hard for me to make the argument to an average American why we would be able to and why they should care. That's just really, really, really hard. And I think it's deservedly hard. I would argue that now we're in an area where we've spoken about this for a long time, but I would say now that like anti-Semitism is a not insignificant part of our far left movement in the United States, and we have no clearance mechanisms for these things. At least on the right, you have like a lot of Jewish, well, not as many Jewish conservative voices, but there are some, but like they have to kind of disavow the Nazism shit because Nazism is so bad that they kind of have to say something, and it's like, we don't really fucking, we don't fuck with the Nazis, and okay, Kanye's funny and whatever, but we kind of sort of disavow whatever. But on the left, that doesn't exist at all. You can say the most rancid anti-Semitic shit and call it, as long as you use, like they literally co-opted from the gamer community that in a video game to like these fucking hook nose, stab us in the back, run all of our banks, run the fucking government. I'm sick of these fucking Zionists. And it's like, oh, true. The pig dogs, the Zios, the Zionists. Oh, okay. And then it's all good. That's wild. That's crazy. Especially given that, like, the Jewish people in the United States were the most cucked progressive leftists. When people like Jordan Peterson and all these people were talking about, like, oh, you're post-Marxist, you whatever, scholars and trans, blah, blah, blah. They're all like Jewish scholars. All these people are Jews. Like, that's one of the reasons why the neo-Nazis would say that the Jews are trying to destroy the white man and everything else, because a lot of your most woke progressive stuff was coming out of, like, Jewish scholars and authors and writers and researchers and shit. So the fact that that group can get fucking ditched by a bunch of fucking LARPing losers and nobody in the party seems to be able to say anything about it, I think is not... That's not good.
I love the Jews.
That's not good. It's not good.
The legitimacy of elections.
Of course. That's been my big issue.
And it's bubbling up in too many areas as well. I mean, like, forget, like, no, yeah, it is. Fuck, I should have a link to this saved. I'm so sorry, but, like, Hasan Piker is the largest leftist influencer on the internet, at least as far as streamers goes. He is on Twitch with 30,000 whatever viewers watching the Scott Wiener guy basically get lynched, and he's cheering it on. And nobody cares. That's really scary. The operation with impunity there, that there's no enforcement action on the platform, there's no self-corrective action of the party, and none of these people sure as fuck are talking about it. No lib-left people are talking about him at all. So, like, the fact that he can run with impunity on that to basically cheer on, you know, what looks like a lynching of a super gay guy who's passed, like, pro-LGBTQIA legislation, who's going to his 23rd year in a row attending this fucking LGBTQIA march, who doesn't have the pure enough position on fucking Palestine, and nobody in the party seems to be able to address that or say anything about it. It's not good. Not good. And then for Hasan to watch it all and say, well, if he really wants us to side with him, then he needs to, he should be supportive of Hamas? Bruh.
The legitimacy of elections.
Of course. That's been my big issue.
Jonathan Karl had to remind him of that. Let's move on. Bill says that's not substantive. Accepting the outcome of elections, that's not substantive. It's just a wink and a nod. You know, I get it. You got to do it. Let's move on to something substantive. Like, again, what about these Gen Z TikTokers cheering on the Intifada? That's substantive. But the vice president of the United States refusing to recognize a free and fair election? Remember, J.D. Vance in 2024, when he was campaigning with Trump for the vice presidency, said, Bill, if he had been in Mike Pence's position on January 6, 2021, if he'd been vice president then, he would not have certified President Biden's victory. So that's a man with power telling you clearly how he would use that power to steal an election, which is infinitely more important and infinitely more dangerous than cheering on the Intifada by a bunch of powerless losers on social media. What are you doing, man? Isn't Jonathan Karl has to tee it up? Well, actually, that is pretty substantive, right, Bill? Right, Bill? Didn't you used to bitch about this all the time? Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, of course, that was my big thing. You're contradicting yourself, Bill. Let's continue.
In the beginning, before he was elected even the first time.
You told J.D. Vance you're open, your vote is up for grabs.
Yes, my vote is in play, because it can't be Trump running. So I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know the talking point is, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. And
the DSA represent, what, single digits in elected office? So even the successful candidates that Mayor Mamdani endorsed, they made it through their primaries. They will almost certainly win the general election. So what? That's still like seven? Like 7 members of the elected government would be like affiliated by the DSA. Even if the DSA is the DCA, the Democratic Communists of America, whatever. They're not social. There are differences between socialism and communism, but set that aside. Set that aside for a moment. Let's just grant that they're communists. You're talking about 7 people in a body of 435. That's the House. 535 if you count the Senate. And you're willing to walk away from the Democratic Party? Your vote is in play because Mayor Mamdani's candidates won their primaries? This is where we are? That's the standard you're holding the Democratic Party to?
DSA, again, they say things like, you know, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism. You know, there is a definition.
By the way, Trump's doing that too.
Of course. Yes.
And to a degree that we haven't seen any other president or Republican do.
That's crazy too.
It's got a piece.
Like, I'm sympathetic to a median voter here. Bill Maher should know better, though. This is retarded on Bill Maher's part. But
right.
A piece of the AI company.
He treats everything like it's a real estate deal, or I don't know, he's an agent or something. He always wants 10 or 15%. So
man, what am I supposed to do with it?
Not to be overly fucking woke here, too, but on Bill Maher's perspective as well, undoubtedly, him being like a decently wealthy white dude also gives him a certain perspective on this, to where the immigration stuff, the crime enforcement stuff, the tax policy stuff, Medicaid stuff, like none of this really impacts him at the end of the day. So it's easier for him to kind of just look the other way, like, oh, what do you want me to say? Oh, it's bad.
That. So the DSA, they want stake, equity, in American companies. Yeah. Okay. Well, the current leader of the party you're thinking about possibly defecting to, or the leader of the party who you say can get your vote, not in theory, but feasibly can get your vote, is actively doing these things unilaterally. I don't understand this. I don't get it. I don't care if you're centrist or moderate or progressive or whatever. How can it be that we grade Trump and the Republicans on such a fucking, what's your issue? Communism is when you have equity and stakes in American companies. Okay. So I may have to vote against it. I'm not saying I will. I may have to vote against the Democrats in the next election. Well, the Republicans are actually doing that with executive order, not even passing.
Like, you can have one of two options. It's either a fringe aspect of the party, and I don't think Josiah is doing this intentionally, but you're running cover for these people by, it's either a fringe aspect of the party, or it's not an ideologically threatening aspect of the party. But you can't make the argument that, like, well, it's a small part of the party, who really cares at the end of the day, these are like a fringe group of extremists or whatever, and then say, well, the only thing they want is a little bit of equity in American companies. Like, we've heard the speeches, okay? We've seen the outfits, we've watched the rallies. That is not, it's not like this is like the Hasan argument of like, oh, we just want a little bit more healthcare. It's like, I'm not sure 100% if I'm buying that one. I feel like there's a little bit more radical of an agenda going on here. And I think people see that, and it's very obvious and easy to see that, and I don't think you can lie about that.
Legislation, not even doing it democratically. Yeah, that's crazy too. I can't support this person. I can't support this group because
like, it's funny because in a way, like I said, from my personal perspective, it's hard to imagine anything that would get me to vote for Vance over DSA type.
Any Democrat?
Not any Democrat, but like anybody that could reasonably make it through, like an Ossoff type or anything like that. Even like an AOC type, I'm pretty sure I would still pretty easily vote for over Vance. I'm saying that as a liberal, vote no blue no matter who, whatever guy. People like Vaush have openly just said they would support Vance over Newsom. I don't know what Hasan's position is on that. Hasan, I don't think, would support a Newsom type over Vance. He just wouldn't tell you who to vote for, right? So that's where we're at right now. That one-sided, like non-reciprocated vote blue no matter who bullshit that the other side doesn't care about.
But didn't we just run through that in the last election, and it didn't seem to work out too good for these fucking lefties? Wouldn't they get the hint?
It doesn't matter. Their goal is not always to win office. It's just to like attack the empire.
Destabilize the West. Okay.
Otherwise they would adjust their messaging, right? There's a reason why they don't adjust their messaging. It's because their goal isn't necessarily to win politically. Otherwise they would adjust their messaging in different areas, but they don't.
Why do Dems listen to them?
Because these people, because Dems have an issue with criticizing themselves in a way that, like, I don't know, they just get mind fucked by people beating them over the head with their own rule set. They're like, oh shit, I guess we shouldn't attack left. Like, Trump is a bigger like threat. It's also kind of easier to hit to the right because like you're expected to, so you don't get much pushback from doing it. I don't know if you saw earlier. Did you see that apparently David Pakman's Discord server is being mass reported right now?
No.
Yeah.
He didn't even say anything crazy.
I know. Yeah, but like that's what you have to deal with from the more radical. So from the more radical.
Did you send him a message at least?
No, I don't even know where I'd message him from.
Oh, you don't have his fucking contact?
Well, I might have a cell phone number. I hate texting. I don't know. Maybe I should.
You should.
His sub is being nuked too. Is that true?
You just send him like a thank you. Hey, thanks for, kind of sticking up for me. Sorry you're going through autism.
Got it. True.
People in this group are threatening to burn down a house. Like, if this is the way it's going to be, I can't support that. Gotcha. So what are you going to do? Well, I may have to support this group here. I'm not saying, well, I may have to support this other group. Well, that other group is actually burning down houses. It's not even just that some have said that they will. They are collectively actively doing the thing that some members of this other group have talked about but not done. And so you're saying, it's a coin flip? What are we doing here, man? What are we doing?
You want to see Democrats win in the midterms?
Absolutely, and they will, because it will still be a referendum on Trump. So I think the Democrats will do very well in the midterms. 2028 is a different story, because by then, this wing of the party, this new wing with all the energy, and it's not just a few people anymore. Every day I read about a new person in some Colorado and Wisconsin, somebody who is saying some variation of not defund the police, abolish the police. No.
What candidate? There are candidates who are running and winning who have previously said, back in 2020, during the height of...
Like, I think this is actually a loser point right here, because there were lawmaker Democrats that were complaining around the BLM era that they were losing elections because of the defund the police rhetoric. I don't think we can pretend that was insignificant. Now, is it that significant? I don't know where it's at now. I don't feel like I hear about it as much of it now. But, like, that was a major player in at least one set of midterms, if not the 2020 elections. This was like a major player piece of rhetoric, I think.
The BLM protests after the murder of George Floyd, they would defund the police. No, that is not electorally popular, and I agree that's not a position that the Democratic Party should take.
The defund the police was like a major lefty rhetoric that got like taken like mainstream.
Kind of, or I would call this like, this was back when before they were all kind of made, or before they started making this big Marxist bend, they were like super progressives. Like that was our very woke wing. But the problem is that the way that they end up defending themselves is through it's like things that you can't like push back on because the things they'll call you are like things that you don't ever want to be called. Like if you push back on the defund the police thing, you're like a racist. And it's like, well, fuck. I don't want to be a racist, I guess, right? And so you're in like this weird world where it's very hard. Same thing with a lot of the trans stuff. It's hard to like call any of it out or say, oh, I don't know if I'm fully on board with this because people will hit you with the transphobia thing. It's like, oh, fuck, man, I'm not transphobic, damn. So it's a difficult thing to deal with.
Even if
Probably
you
now.
absolutely believe that the police should be defunded, it is a loser. We cannot win on that. Don't say it. Don't advocate for it. Now, if what you're really saying is, well, what about police reform, where we, take some sorts of police funding and allocate it to, other resources so that police can focus on stopping violent crime and other issues can be handled by other people. That's different. But don't the slogan defund or abolish the police. Let it go. But who's running on that now? And who's winning on that now? Nobody that I'm aware of. Nobody. So, Bill, you were like boomer Facebook. Oh shit! Did you see what's on Truth Social? Trump has just reposted this thing. All these communists getting elected in Colorado and all these other places running on defund and abolish the police. What?
No prisons, no police. Like, what world?
Now, it is true that I believe Daria Liza Avalier-Chavillier, DSA, I screw her name up every time, one of the candidates that Mayor Mamdani backed, has said that she supports prison abolition, okay? Yes. Is that cringe? Yes. Although, I gotta say, the way the United States does prisons here, really disgusting in terms of civil liberties and human rights violation, and we are an overly penalized, society, like the rate at which we incarcerate people.
See, like, even that is a little spooky to me. And if I was, like, a median voter, like, I think Josiah would scare me if I was a median voter, right? Because, like, police are a thing that basically every American is going to want some form of, like, police. Everybody wants police. Even minorities want police. And the fact that you have to hedge so carefully, even when talking about police abolitionism, that's a little spooky to me. Like, okay, so you're not even like even that's a thing that we can't just take like a hard line stance. Like, okay, we probably should never say abolish the police. That's probably a little bit too much, right? Like, the fact that we have to hedge that is spooky, I think.
It is absurd. And I don't think that prisons should be largely private the way they are.
I don't know why. Sorry. Prisons. Every single thing I just said maps on 100% the exact same. Prisons, not police. I don't know why people in charge. Didn't he say prisons instead of police? It's the same thing. Jesus, fuck. I do think, though, we're going to figure this out, okay? Is there a way to have a big response that isn't also, like, the worst response? I vehemently disagree with Josiah's analysis that we don't ever have to, like, worry about the left flank because, Trump is the bigger threat. And I'm glad that people in my community share my opinion on that. But, like, Josiah's, like, one step away or two steps away, maybe. I don't think he's, like, the enemy. Like, this response is okay. But I feel like this is, like, a little much. Some of y'all need to calm the fuck down. Okay, maybe this thread corrected a little bit. I generally think DGG picked the right fights. This isn't one of them. Okay, I disagree. I think this is a good fight, but not as, like, viciously. Yeah. Don't create enemies by being fucking insufferable. Yeah, I don't think you have to go super hard. Yeah, okay. I'll just leave it at that. Just chill. We can't be insufferable anyway. You can be insufferable, but just at the right people. Your community is just really energized right now. You need to channel that somewhere. PonderingPolitics just came under the crossfire, no? Yeah, but I think choosing good targets, we'll learn this, I guess, as we adopt the more aggressive style of fucking whatever bullshit this is. I think choosing good targets is important. Like Hassan says, so we got to be strategic, guys. I think your energy should go into helping David Pakman. I like commenting on his videos, fighting in that subreddit, fighting in his Twitter mentions. I think that's probably a more productive thing to engage in, yeah. I think the community generally feels like it's being attacked from all sides and stuff. Like Soypill and Josiah's post comes off like them complaining about having to grab DGG's hand while the community's drowning, LOL. Soypill, yes, he knows better. That's just don't even, but you can do whatever for that. That guy's fucking retarded. I think for Josiah, a lot of people just haven't looked at a lot of this stuff before. I don't know how many more excuses I can make. That's all I got, okay? Listen, Josiah's our boy. There you go. That's all I'm going to say. Fuck you, okay?
Kind of explain what happened with the Josiah stuff. I didn't get to see it other than like one tweet.
Well, he just thinks it's better to just focus on the Trump stuff.
Sure, but we can't when they're constantly attacking us.
I know. But it's because they're not really getting attacked by us. One of the things I've said before is that, like, I think people follow predictable incentives. Like, you can map out how a person's going to behave based on their incentive structure. So right now you have your path of least resistance. If you're a lib-lefter, okay, your path of least resistance is to come over here and, like, attack Trump, right? Like, if this is, like, the right, this is your path of least resistance.
It's like the shiny road versus, like, the cloudy road.
Yeah. If you fire off at all to the left here, the second you start shooting, you're going to get mega aggressive pushback. But the only time you're ever even going to see this is if you start pushing. It's the only time you'll be aware of this. So from somebody like Josiah's perspective, there's nothing to do over here, and they would rather just, like, push over here And like, that's it. But because they don't attack over here, they don't actually see any of this even going on is the big issue.
But shouldn't they listen?
I mean, I would say so.
When we're saying it's going on?
I would say so, but in their mind, they're thinking, well, the only reason why you guys are getting hit is because you're infighting over here. If you would just attack Trump with me, they probably wouldn't worry about you, which is true. But then they miss that these people now are growing and growing and growing. And the only way they can grow over here is by taking from us, right? It's not like the DSA people are expanding their base with conservatives. Yeah.
Trump wants to extend the footprint of the United States. That's why he's always threatening to steal Greenland. That's why he repeatedly threatened to steal Panama. That's why he's talking about bombing Mexico, overthrowing.
But then there's like elements of truth, like Trump is an imperialist. That's just true. That's like one of the difficult things I think about taking on people like Kyle is like there are, and left, just like kind of separately but related, but like left-wing populists, is that there are very often are like elements of truth in what they're talking about, like elements of truth.
Starving Cuba to death as they're doing right now and not allowing it.
But they throw it in with like all the other crazy stuff.
I don't like this elements of truth thing. I don't understand. Now I'm having like difficulty explaining because they're more macro things, or it's more like system things, I guess. Where I've tried to explain this using like a simple math analogy before. If somebody like writes out 2 to the 4 is the same thing as 2 times 4, which is the same thing as like 8. Okay, like you would say, okay, well this is not right. This is wrong. Okay, and then somebody say 2 cubed is the same as 2 times 3, and you say this is 6. Like, okay, well this is not really right. It's like, okay, well 2 squared equals 2 times 2. Okay, they're right here. They are correct on this one. They're right here. They're correct. It's like, no, they're not. But I don't know how to explain this. It's just so fucking frustrating that a guy with a basket of insane beliefs, when we're talking about whether or not a person is right or wrong, we're usually giving some kind of, I don't know if you say epistemic weight to the generator of the ideas. What are you using to generate the thoughts? And if the generator is like foundationally fucked, it doesn't matter if they spit out a correct answer every now and then. It's just...
What matters is the work, not the
what are you using to generate the thoughts, right? Like the exponents aren't done by just multiplying the number and the exponent. It doesn't matter if in some cases you get the right answer or whatever. Like the method used to come to an answer is flawed to be able to describe. Yeah, you can describe it, but it's like it's a thing that I shouldn't have to explain what I just explained. Like it's so obviously true. People are in chat are saying like a stopped clock tells the right time twice a day. And it's like, okay, well, let's say that I have 3 watches that I can take, and all 3 of them read the exact same time, but I tell you one of the watches is broken, but all 3 of them are reading the correct time right now. You're never taking the broken watch, ever. You would just leave it. You would trash it. Just because it happens to be correct this time doesn't mean you're ever going to take it or use it for anything. It's garbage. But the thing that worries me is sometimes I feel like, and I don't think this isn't true for Hutch, it is true for other people, is when they're okay with the watch being broken, or they're okay with the flawed thought process because it's generating some correct thoughts, I think they're more okay with the thought process than they're letting on. That's my issue. If a guy goes into like a sawmill and he's eating porridge and you see the guy with like a covering over his porridge, like what is the assumption? Well, he doesn't want to eat fucking sawdust. But if a guy's working at like a bakery and there's some flour floating around and and he's not covering his food at all, he probably doesn't care if he eats a little bit extra flour, right? Like he covers his food in one circumstance because he genuinely really does not want any sawdust to get his food, and the other one, he doesn't actually care. So when I hear people talk about Kulinski's ideas, sometimes like, yeah, he's kind of crazy, but like he's right, on some things or whatever. It's like, I don't actually think you think that his other ideas are as crazy as you say they are, because it sounds like you directionally agree with him. You just think he's a little bit further than you. But it's not just that like a lot of people view things on a one-dimensional axis as well, where their assumption is like, okay, here's an issue. Let's say that I do this across 2 dimensions, okay, and let's say that I have a fact dimension. And then let's say that I have a political ideology direction. You have to be, in my mind, for me, you got to be operating up here and above. Okay, I don't want to deal with fucking liars. And then we can go left to right up here, I guess. But you got to be up here. And then what'll happen is people like fucking Kulinski will give you these fucking takes all over the place, basically. And then. So I'm sitting up here. I don't know how far left you would put me or whatever. And I'm like, what? Okay, this guy's fucking crazy. But I feel like because I'm considering like an extra dimension of thought. But then when I look at like other people, it feels like what they've done is they have collapsed. They're only looking at this across a single direction as like left versus right. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. And so in their mind, they're like, well, All they do is they bring this straight up, and they're like, yeah, Kolinsky's kind of crazy sometimes, but like, you know, he's directionally generally okay. And I'm like, no. We're not working off of a single axis here. He's like way the fuck out into spaceman land. It doesn't matter how similar you think he maps onto your political ideology at times. He's really, really, really far away. He's down here in the loony zone. It doesn't matter where the fuck their beliefs are down here. They're crazy. What you're applying implies more to soy pill. I think Hutch. No, I agree. I don't think Hutch is like masking beliefs. So there's like some big revealed preference here. I tweeted out a joke. Like one of the most special moments of my life is when I like drive to the local grade school to give flowers to my girlfriend. Do you remember this?
I'm sure I've seen you tweet stuff similar, but I don't remember that one.
So my mentions were filled with people saying like, oh, so you could watch her get cream pied, you cuck, or whatever. Like it was all this shit. And it was one of the times I realized this was, I think the AIs unfortunately are way more sophisticated now, but I realized like my comment section is insanely botted. And I think that the bot network, whatever picks up on my tweets or whatever, it couldn't read the sarcasm, or I don't know if you call it sarcasm, but like the joking part of my tweet, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like the joke is
yeah.
There's a lot of, oh, wait, was it this? Oh, why is this not deleted? I thought I deleted all my tweets. Buying your girlfriend her favorite bouquet of flowers and timing the delivery so they arrive right when she goes out to recess. Hashtag just boyfriend things. And I had so many replies like this. Is this advice on how to find a woman that gets railed by every man in the city? And then she dances with another man. Was this tried last time? And like, it has to be bots.
Yeah, because or I guess, like, if I'm being the best faith possible, it could be like people who speak another language.
No.
Kat
Kanata is that woman that I debated in the Twitter space. Like, like she sees like, oh, you're so edgy, right? That is like is an edgy joke or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that why your whore wife left you for another man? So it's like crazy to me, one, that there are bot networks on my tweets, and this was 2 years ago. And then also, two, that like, I guess they've decided the way to attack me is with the cuck jokes. I wonder, because I just saw this, somebody apparently posted this on Hasan sub 13 minutes ago. The leader of Epstein Island can't even do basic math.
Oh. My guess on that one, is there a video or no?
No.
Okay, so they're just lying then.
Well, my guess is this is one of my fans.
You think this is one of your fans putting it on the Hasan subreddit
to fuck with them? I guess that would be. Oh, that was my guess. Oh shit!
I don't know. I thought it was just a Hasan fan doing it on there and just like being a liar.
Okay, wait, never mind. Maybe it is just a Hasan fan. Fuck. Or wait, what is this account? Sometimes it's hard to tell because the people operate in such a cult-like manner. You don't know if it's a bot or like an actual person who's just like a bot. You know, it pains him so bad that he will never be relevant as Hasan. Even his racist community jumped ship and moved to Asmongold. So now he's trying his hardest to get them back. In fact, there is zero difference between an Asmongold Twitch chat and an Epstein Kickstream chat because it's the same racist right-wing Euro bros who LARP is American follow both. It feels like this is not a real person, but it must be a real person. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. Oh, and they always have all their fucking comments hidden. It is, but even if I look through the comment history, I don't know if I can tell anymore between who's a bot and who's not.
It's near impossible, I'd say.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Especially because some of the posters are so dumb. Like some of the bots might even be more sophisticated than the people posting.
Unironically, yes.
Holy shit, what a moron. Time has outgrown him. He was great in 2016 when the left had literally no one here. A little comeback in 2022 when the manosphere was really rising. Now he's just not needed anymore. His shtick got old. Do people really look at this and they legitimately think I don't even know. It's hard to say. Unironically, is there any reason you won't outsource bots to amplify yourself? I don't know. I've been trading more on values that I have over the past several months in terms of like doing the clipping and how we attack people. I don't know if I would ever change on the bot thing. There are still some things. There are some things that I'm not willing to do because I feel like once you've passed this point, you've lost yourself too much. Like I don't think I would ever be in favor of like fabricating a rape allegation or like what Pixie and all these people have done to me. Like lying. Like I think that lying is such a crime against the brain and humanity as a whole. Like I don't know. These are like fights I'm not generally willing to participate in. And there's also like a small point, I guess is like a personal issue. There's a small point of pride. I really do feel like I'm probably the only content creator. I don't know if I'm exaggerating. I think I'm the only content creator my size or larger that doesn't bot any of their socials. Like I've never botted a single social or anything in my entire life. And when I look at like the engagement that other people get, when I look at the types of replies and the lack of viewership these guys get when they go on shows and stuff, the inability to fundraise sometimes is weird to me. Like Hasan, like all of PV did a fundraiser.
They like 30K.
I think it was like 40 or 50, but like, yeah, I was like, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy to me. I don't know. Every person I've ever met who has heard of you, mostly through TikTok clips, only has positive things to say. Unironically, usually something along the lines of, oh, that guy with the blue hair is pretty smart. I think the negative shit isn't out there naturally and likely only comes up through targeted email campaigns whenever the snarkers learn you're going to be at some event. Yes, that is how that works. Like, I know they did an email thing for the plushie and for David Pakman the first time. One of the reasons maybe why you're seeing such a big kick up of shit right now is because there was a lot of pressure to get me canceled from the LibCon event. I don't know if I talked about this on stream, but there were emails and there were people that I had to talk to. For the first time in my life, I started throwing my shit around a little bit. There was a conversation behind the scenes where it got to the point where I said, if somebody, I'm like, there's no way that you can kick me from this event because this guy is scared because of some email he got. Like, I'll replace the sponsor here because it was for like 20 or 30K. I was like, I'll sponsor the fucking event if we're talking about this guy dropping out. Like, so I sat on business finally. Okay, a little bit on this, and it actually worked out fine. And obviously nothing exploded, nothing went horrible.
Did they drop out or no?
No, they didn't. No, and
nice.
I went to the event and nothing bad happened. It was like just
no, the
trust
event
me.
was amazing.
Yes. But I mean, like, you can see the whole origin, the genesis of that entire email thing was a person in Gistigal's chat was making posts on Hasan Piker's subreddit saying that they should email the LibCon people, and people were doing it from that sub, and probably from QB Farms too. But I think that people are so used to getting canceled from events when that didn't work, especially for LibCon, I think that probably sent them into a bit of a tizzy. So that's probably some of the reasons why, like, Gistigal has been a little bit more directly involved and Hasan has been amplifying them. It's probably really irritated that I didn't get canceled from that
Blew
event.
their mind.
Watch the whole video, listen to the whole segment before you send me hate mail. You know when it starts that way, it's going to be good. Our reasonable received follow, you know.
Fuck, there's a whole segment to listen here. But he called out the Hasan Mao outfit thing and the DSA stuff or whatever. He did do this, I think maybe for the first time. He mentioned Hasan by name and everything, and me by name too. And now you have, it is a full court press on David Pakman now via Hasan.
David Pakman... we're gonna watch the Unfuck America tour is now hyping up. Dude, I love that, like, all of these Destiny affiliated organizations, they just almost exclusively work to do PR for this fucking weirdo. Okay, this weirdo and his cult. David Pakman has joined in on the call to action, and so did Parker Get a Job. You know, as you guys know, college Democrats invited me. And the Republicans are obviously freaking out. Some of these, like, liberals are freaking out too. And I think the Sex Pestiny Epstein community did, like, a boss call to all the liberal commentary sphere to be like, why won't you guys also shit on Hasan? Are you too scared or some shit like that? And it's really funny because, like, the idea that I'm not, like, eating it from both ends here is so funny. Like, the notion that people are too afraid to stand up to Hasan is a hilarious take because I'm, you know, a priority target for the State Department. And
priority target. I can't say what I want to say because I'll get fucking banned on all these platforms. Imagine saying that from your multi-million-dollar mansion, your dual citizenship, generationally wealthy, billion-dollar family net worth, spoiled Nepo baby bullshit, that you're a prime target by the administration when people were being picked up from Minnesota and then kicked out of a fucking van in Texas 2 weeks later without fucking clothes. Right? Like, the idea that you would actually have the audacity to call yourself a primary target of the administration is such an insult, a slap in the face that people are actually dealing with crazy unhinged Trump shit right now. I don't even think he's been fucking indicted over the Cuba shit. They just keep posting random fuck statements about it. Oh my God.
Also, prominent liberals yell at me all the fucking time. What is this? They literally admitted getting harassed by the D community. Members of our chapter has been harassed under the mistaken assumption that we were supported or affiliated with Mr. Piker and his views. That assumption is demonstrably false. And we, like our fellow students, should not be subject to harassment based on it. We hope the statement provides the clarity. Wait, what? So the fucking sex pest community was coming after the Kansas Young Democrats? Is that what it is? What the fuck? They were yelling at them. Are they going to, like, every Young Democrat chapter to be like, disavow Hasan? All right, well, let's see. So David was one of the guys that bit. They were emailing all of them. They're actually going after other people too. It's not even just about you. It's outright dangerous at this point. You got to do something.
Dangerous? Notice that the danger here is making our voices heard. Like, fuck you. What do you mean? We don't have the right to email people? We don't have a right to a redress of our grievances? We can't email and say, hey, we're just... Like... It's not even like brigading. Like, this is the democratic process. We lost the primary because the moderate Dems brigaded at the ballot box. All of them showed up and they brigaded the fuck out of us. And they told us they brigaded the ballot boxes and they all went and they spammed their fucking votes or whatever. Like, what the fuck are you saying right now? Hello? The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Listen to the whole segment before you send me hate mail. You know when it starts that way, it's going to be good. Listen, the Democratic Party is showing the early signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican Party. I've got so many friends on the left texting me and saying, David, we're not going to allow the same thing to happen on the left that
Oh, I didn't even text him.
Trump did to MAGA. That Trump and MAGA did to Republicans, are we? Republicans.
What, you mean winning? Like, I'm sorry. They have an odious worldview.
God, where did this odious word come from? Oh my God.
Hate mail. You know when it starts that way, it's going to be good. Listen, the Democratic Party is showing the early signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican Party. I've got so many friends on the left texting me and saying, David, we're not going to allow the same thing to happen on the left that Trump did to MAGA. That Trump and MAGA did to Republicans, are we? Republicans.
What, you mean winning?
They won their first election in 2016. Then they lost horribly their second election. And then they won their third election. And now their party is like on the brink of a total collapse / evolution to something completely different, right? Like, the Republican agenda has been served in the long term for sure, but like in a very morphed and mutated and non-ideal sort of manner. Like, I like the idea here also. He's so much more honest now with his propaganda, which I appreciate. It's like Asmongold, right? The people who are disgusting would just be disgusting your face. So they do want to be like MAGA. They do want to eat the party from within. He wants to be like the Tea Party now of like the leftist movement. Ironically enough, as much as Pisco the retard would use that blue MAGA talking point, this is the blue MAGA, right? He'll never apply it to them ever. For some reason, I don't even know who the fuck he would apply that to. Radical moderates. But this is like the blue MAGA movement. And it's not just owns it.
Like, I'm sorry. They have an odious worldview on the right. The reactionaries do, right? They're horrible monsters. But the one thing you can't say is they're unsuccessful. Donald Trump literally owns the government, okay?
Because he's an authoritarian. What do you mean? He can't pass legislation. He sucks. Even with his own agencies, he can't do that much. He's literally just in the White House. He's in the White House, running the country from the White House. I guess it's successful from an authoritarian perspective, but...
Donald Trump owns the government. Donald Trump almost single-handedly rewrote American politics for the last decade. Every aspect of American politics has changed for the worse because of Donald Trump. So when you say, oh, we can't let these fucking leftists do the same, what are you saying? Do you disagree with the policies?
As in, we don't also want to destroy the part of the country that is holding the country up. We don't want to destroy the only political party that's actually governing, is what we're saying.
Is that what you're talking about? He thinks getting everything they campaigned on in a 6-3 majority is bad because they actually got what they wanted? Perfect Dem influencer. Yeah, like, no. I wish the Democrats could fight like the Republicans do. But instead of for odious, horrible, repulsive...
I wish they could fight like the Republicans do. Like, what do you mean by that? Because there are some good ways the Republicans fight, and then there are some horrible ways the Republicans fight. And I'm not sure which fights you're talking about.
...of toxic and outright awful plans. I wish the Democrats would fight like hell for good shit. Medicare for all.
Medicare. Oh my God, bro.
Housing for all. Federal jobs guarantee. And also cutting all aid and sanctioning Israel, holding Israel accountable, abolishing ICE, punishing ICE. I wish. Oh no. Oh no, we can't let the Democrats be too sweet. We can't let the Democrats be too successful. What will the Republicans do?
Why don't you try being successful in a contested zone and not in a +30 blue district? And then maybe we'll take like notes from you guys. Fucking moron.
Republicans got real Chinese with it. Okay? I'll tell you why.
Ugh.
What does the Communist Party of China do? 5-year plans. Okay? They write it out like Babe Ruth. They call their shot and they swing and they do not miss. Republicans did this.
Really? Like China has only enjoyed success after success after success for the past few decades? It's not really true. There's been a lot more success predicted for China than what they have ultimately experienced. They're doing pretty good, but like the United States has done exceptionally as well. I remember hearing, well, there were two big rumors about China. The first was that the middle class would get money and then they would become politically aware and they'd want democracy. That never happened. But the second thing was that China's economy would surpass the United States. I don't think that's happened yet either. And I've heard that for like over a decade, that the Chinese GDP would finally pass US GDP. Damn, it's actually not even close. Holy fuck, the US is still crushing it. But like, we hear a lot of the good things about China. I'm not here to shit on China all day. I'm not a fucking propagandist or whatever, but it's not like everything is perfect. Like they do have a lot of issues with their Belt Road Initiative. They do have a lot of issues with making a 5-year plan and then setting out to do it. And they can do it, but when you do, there are pros and cons to market economies. There are pros and cons to demand economies. One of the cons to demand economies is the government is saying, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it regardless of how people feel about it. And then hopefully like the people kind of fill in afterwards. But there's reasons why, like China had these like fucking the empty city problem for a while because they were overbuilding on
from a fake
real
replica
estate
of Paris and New
that their citizens ultimately could never afford, and they had to like demolish like some of these like huge cities with they had all these real estate problems and shit. Like I'm just saying that it's not as clear cut as like China just does things and they win. That's not true, bro. Not to mention the fact that China has massively propped itself up from two major things, from American consumers. The fact that our economy was so powerful, the fact that our consumer has so much buying power allowed China to export a lot of things to us, okay, which helped them, but also from stealing as much as you might want to hear it, might not want to hear it, from stealing American intellectual property. That is true. It is one of the things that Trump called out in the beginning, and not just Trump, a lot of people called it out, but it is true as well. They've stolen a lot of U.S. innovation as well, and that's how China operates. So to sit here and pretend like they're all good, all on their own, bullshit, fuck you. That's not even remotely true.
The same. They said Project 2025. Here is all of the awful shit that we're going to do. We are going to Nazify this country, and there ain't a dang thing you can do about it. And then they followed through on it. It's horrible. It's awful. It's unbelievably bad.
But you failed the easiest GED trolley problem in history, which was Harris versus Trump. How the fuck can you complain about the outcome now? Like, why are you screaming about Project 2025 now when you didn't have shit to say about it before the election? You didn't have anything to say about any of this before the election. Like, it's your socialist candidates or it's the highway. And we've already seen it happen. You didn't support Harris in the easiest trolley problem, the easiest electoral trolley problem in all of human history. Harris or Trump? And you don't do it now, right? Homo-fascism for California. Everybody knows that you're not going to support any fucking moderate Dems in the general, the AIPAC Dems. Now, AIPAC has become the splitting point, which donate to what percentage of fucking American politicians? Is like, I don't even know, I'm making numbers up. It's like 70, 80% of American politicians have at some point taken money from AIPAC. Like, come on, it's an unworkable standard. It's so fucking stupid.
But it is successful for their agenda. So yeah, I wish the Democrats would have their own Project 2026, Project 2028, which featured socialism
what?
heavily in it, and then we
oh my God, bruh. Give me a break.
Had enough fighters that could get together and push for that. Okay? So no, when you say, oh, we can't let the fucking MAGA style situation take over the Democratic Party, what are you talking about? We believe in the opposite things that they believe. We believe in the opposite things that they believe. We want to advance the opposite things. But if you're going to talk about success, MAGA has been unbelievably successful.
It's like, that's who you want to look like? It's so sad, too. I feel like I fought this for so long in saying that these are what these people want to do. And then finally, Asmongold was like very honest. Like, okay, look, now he's being honest about it. And now Hasan is being honest about it. They want to be leftist authoritarians. Like, if you look at MAGA and you're like, that's the template, bro, you're the problem. Excuse me. I don't want that to be the template. But the problem is, this is the level that everybody is fucking fighting on. And you almost have to go here to do it. It's so cringe. So we've got like right-wing MAGA, we've got left-wing MAGA, we don't have the moderate MAGA. It's just so fucked.
Let's continue.
Back in 2010, their leaders laughed at the Tea Party. Conspiracy theorists, they're far-right internet trolls, they're not going to do anything. And then the Tea Party took over local organizations, threatened primaries, built their own media universe, and eventually were part of a process that gave us Donald Trump.
Yes, that's insanely successful. Donald Trump has been unbelievably successful. What are you talking about? Like everything that you cover on your channel about every damn day, there is a new thing, okay? Every damn day, there is a new awful thing that this fucking psychopath does. That's success for him, okay? So you know he's successful. All the bad shit he's doing, that's success for the Trump movement, for Trump, for MAGA, okay? We hate it because we have a fucking conscience. They don't. But one thing you can't say is that they're unsuccessful. What the hell?
The left and Democrats can't make the same mistake. There is a small group of far-left extremists gaining influence inside youth groups and party organizations because they spend all day online organizing and enforcing ideological purity and attacking anyone who disagrees. Now, let me be very
liberal, happy fun, la la la, human smuggling, fentanyl gas.
He's also not mentioned the fact that you're on the left-wing lunacy thing.
I am not talking about people who want Medicare for all and affordable housing. I want all that stuff. I'm with all that stuff. I'm a social democrat in the style of Northern Europe. Of course I want those things. These are folks who treat political warfare like a full-time job. And when they can't build...
Dude, you're literally a political commentator. What are you talking about? Mention the fact that you're on the left.
Democrat in the style of Northern Europe. Of course I want those things. These are folks who treat political warfare like a full-time job. And when they can't build...
Dude, you're literally a political commentator. What are you talking about?
Like, I hope that I got it. I wanted to get shipped out so bad. I hate this motherfucker. Like, we can never go back to politics as normal with these people in our country. Like, we can't do it. Like, this is it? Like, oh, bro, you're a political commentator. Of course you have to be obsessively fantasizing about your political opponent's cock all day fucking long and talking about the sex cult that you want to be in and injecting yourself with fucking Ozempic and TRT and fucking all your fucking hair products and everything. Like, Jesus Christ. And shocking your fucking dog to release some stress in the meantime. Like, of course this is how politics works. Don't you look at how MAGA's operating? Like, don't you want to be the same as them? Like, oh my God.
You're a political, that's your full-time, that's literally your full-time job.
Political commentator, not war commander, bro.
It's Does David Pakman do something else other than this? This is his job, right?
Well, say something about Israel, maybe. Israel Jew? Hold on. David A. Pakman would kill Rosa Luxemburg with his bare hands if he got $1,200 for it. What the fuck? Isn't this guy a genocide supporter, too? Old A. Pakman. A. Pakman strikes again. Bro really said, "You Vanguard, too bad. Your agitation, too buttery." He's mad. Argentina lost. That's an anti-Semitic dog whistle, by the way. That's. I don't care if he actually supports him or not, or because he was from Argentina. That is 100%. It's a Jew equal Nazi trope, especially in this fucking chat. I like Northern Europe, social service, while we still enslave the global South and participate in imperialism. Like, bro, you are not with us.
Yeah. He said the left is really bad because they're locking in. Okay? The left is bad because they locked in, and they have an agenda. They seek to accomplish that agenda, and they're pushing for it. And now, perhaps most terrifyingly, they're winning. He has said that if he didn't do political commentary, he'd be in finance. Okay, Central Committee, you know too much about David Pakman's background, and I know this guy. I've been around him. Basically.
Their own.
He read Mike from PA had his, oh my God, dear leader, read a message from me.
He has said that if he didn't do political
$7K a month, by the way.
Commentary, he'd be in finance. Okay, Central Committee, you know too much.
He said that if he didn't do political commentary, he would be in finance. Okay. Is that even true? Or is this just literally a Jew bad, Jew. Has he actually said this? Please, somebody find me this. David Pakman, finance. Also, even if he did, why the fuck are we even bringing this up? What a weird thing to even bring up.
About David Pakman's background, and I know this guy. I've been around him. Basically.
Their own coalition, they attach themselves to popular causes. They take real concerns about healthcare, housing, police misconduct, and use them to sell what is actually an authoritarian worldview. Now, there are things in
Social Democrats collaborating with Nazis again. That's me, the Nazi.
DSA, for example, Democratic Socialists of America, that are good.
Can you please explain the Argentina thing? You've mentioned it being a dog whistle, but Pakman is actually Argentinian. So the meme was that after, I don't know how many actually went, but the meme was that after the fall of Nazi Germany, all of the people, as many Nazis as possible, fled to Argentina. Some people go as far as to say that Hitler was one of them, was secretly fled, and that Argentina welcomed them with open arms, and that a lot of the descendants from Argentinians are like these Nazi fucking Gusano traitor to the South and Hispanic people and crazy subversive Nazi people that still live there and come from there. And yeah, so it's like the people, that's the meme. Like, oh, you're very Argentinian of you.
That I agree with. But there's also some stuff in there that I think doesn't make any sense. I saw their new platform. Promises a country where you have no debt, you pay no rent, no mortgage, you receive publicly funded housing, publicly funded retirement.
Why won't anybody think about the landlords? Why won't anybody think about the big corporations that are buying out all the fucking readily available housing?
He's so gross, dude. Oh my God, this fucking platform is insane, bro. We got to put together a... Oh, apparently the meme now is also Argentina equals Israel as well. There's some shit there too. But classically, I know that for a lot of you guys who don't know any of the anti-Semitic dog whistles, you think right now it's just about the Argentina equals Israel because of the current football shit or whatever, but historically this was like the dog whistle. So yeah, I'm sure there's some current shit going on, but historically this is the thing as well.
It's good to have ideals and a goal that you are setting out ahead of time, okay? What feels impossible tomorrow could be probable, okay? So here's the question. Why don't you like that final goal that we should move towards is the real question. Because like, you could just be like, how do we accomplish it? Fine, that's okay. That's a healthy and productive conversation that we can have. But if you just cut it down to be like, dude, fucking what? Like public housing? Gross. Then that just comes across like you are just in opposition to a thing that exists in those same Nordic-style social democracies that you just started off defending. Like, can you...
Hot take. Anything required to live should be provided to everyone no matter what. Guaranteed. That's it. That's my platform. Oh my God.
Imagine being like, oh, public housing, absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. It's like, I want social democracy. Okay, well, they have public housing. So it turns out maybe you don't like some of the fucking...
How much of the housing... I'm sorry, I don't know. What is the answer? How much of the housing in Sweden and Norway? What percentage of the population lives in public housing? What is there... Percentage of Sweden lives in publicly provided housing. Is it all of it? It is higher than I thought. I see anywhere from 15 to 20%. Does this count as like, which is open to any income level and essentially means affordable housing? I should look up. I don't know what public housing necessarily means over there. Public housing is different here. It's very normal in Europe. What do you guys mean when you say public housing? Is this just subsidized? Yeah, because I feel like when these guys talk about public housing, they mean decommodified housing provided for free. So like they wouldn't consider Section 8 doesn't count as like public housing to these guys. It has to be like free. But their taxes and everything is very different. No, it's definitely not free though. Well, free at the point of, you know what I mean.
Social democratic policies. Like, which type of social democracy are we talking about? Because many of them have that. Many of them have this. We should have it too.
Nobody has the style of government that you're looking for in Europe. I don't know what... Nobody has the Medicare for All plan that he is interested in. Nobody does like decommodified housing. Nobody does, none of the things that he's asking for are done in any of these countries. They're all capitalist countries.
And as far as debt, like debt abolition, we have a real problem with debt. That's unironically a huge working class issue. It's actually pretty reliable that DSA has identified that as a major problem that they are seeking to solve.
Wait, what if we just abolish the U.S. debt? Holy shit.
So this is why I get very frustrated when I hear from people who are like, I'm a social democrat, but I think the DSA platform is untenable. It's like, well, okay. So I guess you're not a social democrat because the DSA platform, at least like a lot of the stuff that they're presenting here, already exists in some way, shape, or form in social democracies, or were advanced by, ironically enough, socialists in the past, and therefore it's not really that big of an issue in other countries. Like debt is a major one. This was a question I asked David Pakman a very long time ago. I said, "You understand inelastic demand? You love, Econ 101." He said, "Yes." I said,
is he saying this shit now because I've challenged his like foundational knowledge? I said he can't do policy because he doesn't have like a high school understanding of things. Well, actually, I'm here to talk about inelastic demand.
For that reason, you're in favor of Medicare for all. He said, yes.
Most healthcare is not necessarily like an inelastic demand. Like there is elasticity tied to different, like not every piece of, I know that it's hard because a lot of people are rich and they can't think of any healthcare that's not related to like a fucking medical emergency, but there's plenty of stuff that you don't necessarily have to get, or stuff that you can choose when to get it, or different levels of care and service that you can opt in or opt out of. Like it's not like every single part of the healthcare system is not like an inelastic demand. Like you can, this is demonstrated in fucking econ studies. Like you put more price in front of things and people don't engage with the healthcare. Like,
or universal healthcare. He said, yes, inelastic demand. So why don't you apply that same principle to housing? Housing is shelter. Shelter is a necessity for survival. There's inelastic demand for shelter in the same exact way that there's inelastic demand for healthcare.
What do you think you need more of, like, to survive in the world? What do you think people had first? Medicine and healthcare or shelter? Like, even comparing these things is fucking retarded. Like, excuse me, you can't survive without a fucking house. Well, you could survive, but Jesus Christ, we're on rough times there.
Oh, so rent control, abolishing police and prisons, and abolishing the Senate, and replacing our political system.
Like the abolishing police. I'm not in favor of police abolition, okay? But I understand where these guys are coming from, and it doesn't matter because I'm not crazy, okay? I don't spend a good deal of time being like, I can't believe some of them said abolish police. What the fuck? Like, I'm not losing sleep over it, okay? Why do you lose sleep over it?
Some of these ideas are reasonable to a degree. For example, I support universal healthcare, and I talked about 4 or 5 ways that we could get to it. I want affordable housing, and I've done a dozen interviews with housing experts on what would and wouldn't work to get us there. I support progressive taxation. We need to collect more taxes from the very rich. Any social democrat like me will tell you we got to do that. But you bundle it together, and this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear, most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism. My one hesitation...
I mean, you're just describing laws. You're just... Again, you're describing a policy agenda that you disagree with.
Cock and ball torture. You're just describing like ways that you can walk on things. You're just talking about like tools that you can use for compression.
Without actually explaining what you disagree with on the policy agenda, and you're just simply saying people oppose it and you want to be authoritarian. Yeah, okay. How is it any different than when fucking libertarians say, oh, taxation is theft?
We don't like libertarians though. I don't understand. What do you... We think those people are retarded too. Wait, what is that the comparison? Hold on, let me reply.
But you bundle it together, and this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear.
I mean, you're just describing laws. You're describing a policy agenda that you disagree with without actually explaining what you disagree with on the policy agenda, and you're just simply saying people oppose it and you want to be authoritarian. Yeah, okay. How is it any different than when fucking libertarians say, oh, taxation is theft? The authoritarian government is utilizing the monopoly of violence that it holds in order to force me to fucking steal my money.
Nobody takes libertarians seriously because of that. Why would he even use this comparison?
Money, my hard-earned money. Like, okay, that's authoritarianism. Technically, they're not wrong. Okay? Yes, public ownership of key sectors is authoritarianism, I guess, for the fucking executives.
Like, keep in mind, dude, oh my God, the propaganda game. Holy shit, he speaks fluent bullshit, right? So it is authoritarian to just have rules and laws. So when you do the actual authoritarian shit, is that the same thing? You don't see a distinction? That says way more about you than it does about Pakman or libertarians.
Of said companies. But guess what? Many other social democracies do this because it's good. I'm sure there was a point in time when the motherfucking private profiteers of the fire departments, the private fire brigades were really frustrated that the local governments came down on them and authoritarian style took over and said, nah, we got to do this. It's got to be a public service. Sorry. They were like, no, authoritarianism. It turns out sometimes it's good.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Nordic model wasn't conjured by liberals is 100% correct. I already made that point. But yes, Boschgar says it here as well. Nordic model.
Oh, true. Every good thing that liberalism has given us actually came from socialists and communists. True. True. The Finns famously loved the fucking Russians. True. Remember this? All these people love communism and socialism and Marxism. True.
It wasn't conjured by liberals. It was built by parties rooted in Marxist Second International that, through decades of class struggle, built unions powerful enough to discipline capital and expanded state economic involvement. Socialist governance within capitalism. Also, homogeneity explains little. Finland is bilingual. Nordics have their own national minorities.
This is the worst counter to a neo-Nazi talking point I've ever seen in my entire life. Neo-Nazis will point out that the only reason why the Nordic-style countries work is because they have a homogenous white society. But he's like, oh, they're not homogenous, actually. Finnish people are bilingual, and there are minorities in Norway. Like 7 of them? What definitionally, what are we talking about? Oh my God.
None of that explains why they built social democracy while other wealthy, homogenous countries didn't. Difference was organized labor and socialist parties, not demographic.
Yeah, I think for Norway, the difference was some fucking Iraqi dude wandered up in that country, like, 30 years ago and kicked a rock and a fucking explosion of free fucking oil came out. And there were like 12 people living there who were like, holy shit, we could fucking cook with this shit. What the fuck? Our country's gonna be rich forever.
Misspelling his surname is anti-Semitic? Okay, shut the fuck up.
Most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism.
Yeah, I hate the extraordinary authoritarianism of the fucking postal service and the fire department, even the fucking police department and public schools. I hate that. We need to stop with this authoritarianism. Dude, are you a libertarian? No. Are you an anarcho-capitalist?
Like, it's the inverse of the conservatives from 20 years ago. Obama is a communist. Why? Because he wants to expand government. That's not communism. Hasan. Oh, you hate communism? So then what? You hate public schools and the postal service and the fire department? Like, none of this is communism.
No. So obviously there's a level of authoritarianism that you're actually comfortable with.
Oh, it's levels of authoritarianism. Oh, so when we vote on a thing, then the law gets passed. That's a kind of this is why he only talks like theory, not even theory, like empty, bland rhetoric. This is cringe. This level of political engagement is fucking retarded. Like, this is actually lol tier worthy shit. Like Babby's first libertarian fucking political analysis of like, you think that you hate authoritarianism? Well, why don't you tell that to the cop that pulled me over for driving my car at 70 miles an hour when the authoritarian speed limit that I didn't vote on said 55. It said 55 and I went 70 and I got pulled over. And you're telling me that that's not authoritarianism? So you're okay with some authoritarianism, right? Like,
right? And I thought you were far more open to the...
This guy, what a stupid comparison. This guy is not political Brian from Family Guy. This guy is political DSP. I did steal that from a chatter. This guy is political DSP. This is what this is.
Level of authoritarianism presented by the likes of FDR, or even presented in countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland, and many of these other places that social democrats love to point to and say we should do the same thing that they have over there. But now, when DSA is putting out a platform that's identical to the things that already exist in these other social democracies to a certain degree, you're like,
abolish the police and abolish borders and abolish prisons and play them on a loop for 6 months.
I didn't say that. I didn't say abolish borders on that speech. I didn't say abolish prisons on that speech. I want to put motherfuckers in prison.
Yeah, re-education camps. We know, buddy.
No mistake. There's a lot of motherfuckers that need to go to prison, okay? Many of them ICE agents, actually, and people who are in this current government. They need to go to jail. So I'm not abolishing prisons at all. Okay? Make no mistake. There's a lot of motherfuckers that need to go to prison, okay? Many of them ICE agents, actually, and people who are in this current...
He opposed Bernie Sanders to defend Israel. He's obviously just being paid off. These guys aren't dumb. You're low-hanging fruit. They know that you're nuanced from the extremists.
Government.
No one has ever said abolish prisons.
Jail. So I'm not abolishing prisons at all. Okay? I'm not in favor of that.
Yep. Pepe. Facts. Yep. Of course, they're just talking about like the current Trump admin, by the way. They don't mean anything else by that.
At all. I want to put...
Once he sees a boost in metrics that he can sell to his advertisers for more bucks. Is that I don't even know what that's a reference to. I see him becoming a part of the anti-Hasan cancer for the ad break to reach 20 minutes.
Motherfuckers in prison. The right kind of people in prison.
Epstein-y for starters.
Okay? So make no mistake.
Under the jail. Rich-ass mofos, too. Stop listening to his podcast 3 years ago. His Twitch numbers are pathetic.
Hey, David. Never said abolish prisons. He did not play the speech. Is the narrative being set? Yeah. I didn't say abolish borders. I didn't say abolish prisons. I didn't say none of that. I said abolish ICE. Maybe he has a disagreement.
Re-education, gulag, comrade. Not prison. Sex offenders, etc. Oh, we should build prisons for sex offenders. Holy shit, this guy's so smart. Somebody make that guy the president. Re-education, residential accommodations. Ha ha ha. The jokes, by the way, here of like re-education is like just jokes in a community where a guy went to China and says that he would never criticize Mao and defends things like the Cultural Revolution, which involved jailing political opponents and murdering political dissidents, which is everybody that disagreed with the current party and ideology of Mao, by the way. But, you know,
With that, I don't know.
Hilarious, epic, ha ha ha. Tan suit, by the way.
I took it one step further. I said punish ICE, abolish
David is so disingenuous. This is the all lives matter shit.
ICE, but also, you know, hold them accountable.
I were an average voter with no...
I can't wrap my mind around this, that Twitch just like fucking greenlights all of the insane harassment. It's just crazy to me.
One step further, I said punish ICE, abolish ICE, but also, you know, hold them accountable.
I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, which most of these people are. Most people don't follow this sort of thing. They're busy living their lives and working and doing all this stuff. If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, I would find these images and a lot of this stuff very alarming. So as I said last week, and so many of you agreed with me, Democrats must act now and intelligently. The centrists don't really do anything, make very milquetoast fringe suggestions that you don't even really push for. Not working, okay? This other thing of like end everything, it's sort of destructive accelerationism, that's also not gonna work. So I think that what we need here are no apologetics for dictatorship, no apologetics for authoritarianism, no harassment, no anti-Semitism, no allowing online factions to decide which liberals may enter the room. You know, what would I even have been allowed at that college Democrats thing? They invited me months ago. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't go, so we didn't find out. So we just need normal people to participate, join local committees, attend conventions, get involved with state parties, and let's turn...
the irony. He's McMorrow maxing
the DNC into something that works. Many reasonable people doing a little can defeat...
Yeah. Anti-Semitism, oh, mega lol. Yes, Epstein is normal. The libs are not all right.
Both the centrists do...
What a fucking freak. Fake lying ass. Where was this stupid fucking... Imagine you wake up one day. Imagine taking a day off from work in a future without capitalism. It might not feel as badly needed as it does now. You enjoy your work. It's interesting to you and you're well trained for it. You work as much as you're able and no more than needed. And you would control your own labor and see it going to good use, whatever the fuck that means. It's not just a job to pay the bills. Oh my God, I get to do art in the commune? Speaking of bills, you don't really have them anymore. You have no debt. You don't need health insurance. You don't pay a mortgage or have a landlord because comfortable housing is a human right. Your retirement is publicly funded. Food, education, energy, medicine, goon material, and transportation aren't for-profit businesses. They are common goods and utilities. Okay, enough about bills. What do you do on your day off? Maybe in the morning, you walk your kids to school, run errands, or go to a doctor's appointment. In the afternoon, you might play a sport, practice a new skill, read, plan a trip. In the evening, you could meet up with friends or family and eat together. Maybe go to the movies or down to the park. These are all familial, everyday activities. A socialist day off could be like any good day now. But what if you were free to spend your time how you like without worrying about cost or dreading going back to work? What if you didn't have to think about paying rent or loans at the end of the month, or saving for college or affording groceries? What would that be like? It's been said that it's easier to imagine going a whole month without coming than it is to imagine the end of capitalism. But just because it isn't easy to imagine chastity cages for all doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to lock everybody in. Workers deserve more. How did we get, like, this whole platform is like fucking, just like, it's like a pipe dream for everything. Oh, paid family leave for all workers. A 32-hour work week with full pay and benefits and a living minimum wage. Whoa. So I work less, get paid more, and we have family leave, and we get free education for everybody, and all student debt is eliminated, free all the way from Brigaded college, universal healthcare at no cost at all the free healthcare, and expanded access to, and all medical education and training is public and free. I don't know, all this training's already free anyways. And now it's double free, I guess. And you get free housing. Oh, wait, universal rent control? Maybe that's not free. Then I guess you have to pay something for rent. Finish Reconstruction. End the legacies of slavery and colonialism. Reinforce anti-discrimination laws. Honor all treaties and tribal sovereignty. Oh, we're giving half the U.S. back, boys! Hell yeah! We need to take steps towards fully abolishing the police and prison system, which protects the rich and jails the poor. Feminism for all and the Green New Deal. Ooh, free Palestine. No! Oh, yes. And throwing abolish ICE on there, too. Thank you. Oh, my God. Multi-party system. You're only going to need one party in our democracy, though. And abolish the Senate. Hell yeah. Get rid of them. Fuck me, bro. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh, and just in case you guys don't know, I'm sorry, because I know a lot of you guys don't travel or whatever. This is genuinely what it's like up in Sweden and Norway. I was shocked. We would just see people swimming over
Like, that's authoritarianism. So apparently you're not in favor of that. But this is also ideologically inconsistent because there are certain things that I know he's defended. There are certain things that I know he's defended, whether it be Medicare for all or numerous other policies like that. That's authoritarianism. Medicare for all, universal healthcare is authoritarian by that exact same principle that you're mentioning.
Hesitation about confronting this now, and why I went back and forth, is the midterms. Publicly exposing the rot could make moderate voters think the entire Democratic Party has been infected. But I don't think silence is really going to hide it. I saw a crazy thing from the weekend where there was a college Democrats convention, which I was actually invited to participate in, and I couldn't make it. Hassan Piker was dressed like Mao, and
dude, this is Fox News, brother. What is happening? What is happening? This is tan suit, Fox News style.
Fox News, tan suit, you disgusting, you roach fuck. Oh my God, tan suit, Fox News stuff. You wore a Mao outfit that you bought in CCP China while looking at pictures of Mao. What the fuck? Are we serious here? What? That's wild. That's crazy.
It's literally a Chinese suit, brother. Do you disagree with the things that I said?
It's a Chinese suit. How many people in Beijing... I'm sorry, I haven't been to China recently. How many people in China walk around in the Maofit? It's a Chinese suit?
American speech that I delivered. Did you watch the speech? Did you disagree with the things that I said in the speech? That is the question, okay? Hyper-focusing on the Zhongshan suit is unbelievably silly, and you would make 17...
You're the one who chose to wear it. Sorry, fuck. And this is after you've made some huge statement about how I need to wear suits all the time so that I can be professional. People love me when I wear suits. Like, you're so aware of your fucking image now. You chose to wear the fucking Mao suit. You chose to wear the Mao suit. Wikipedia literally calls it the Mao suit. Like, I guess this, bruh, you bought it when you were looking at pictures of Mao.
But you know, fire. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, we've been trying. Cool.
We're gonna do the good.
The Chinese tailors that you're buying the suit from are wearing American suits. They're not wearing the Mao suits. Like, what the fuck?
1,000 fucking videos if the Republicans were doing it to somebody else. If the Republicans were doing this to a centrist Democrat, you would make a million videos about it. Like, this is ridiculous. Focus on what you guys are doing. You're killing people in the streets instead of fucking talking about some centrist Democrat wearing a type of suit that you don't like. Yes, dude. Yes. Deng Xiaoping
centrist Democrat. He's comparing himself to Obama. Oh my God.
Also wore it, and liberals love him, so they should love this. Talking about some centrist Democrat wearing a type of suit that you don't like. Yes, dude. Yes. Deng Xiaoping also wore it, and liberals love him, so they should love this. It's so funny. Liberals love Deng Xiaoping, but then they always talk about Tiananmen Square.
Because he doesn't believe that any of that shit actually happened, by the way.
Anyway, I guess they have nuance when it comes to Deng Xiaoping. Anyway, let's continue.
I guess Destiny tried to show up and he was banned from entering allegedly because the Mao-dressed Piker didn't want him there.
That's a crazy thing to do, by the way. You know better, David. That's really fucked up that you're out here straight up. OG made a video on the tan suit.
I was stunned, Lewis, upon my return. Got himself embroiled in a huge political controversy. Republicans completely up in arms, angry over the disrespect.
Called it. This man has been around for a long damn time. Look at this. 2014. Look at that.
Does the average voter know what the Mao suit is, David? I like how people are saying this. Honest to God, that's probably the only fucking thing the average American knows about China is communism and fucking the Mao suit is like the only fucking immediately recognizable thing when it comes to China. That and the fucking Chinese CCP, the fucking logo. It's probably the only things that an average American even fucking knows about China. 30% of Americans probably think that Beijing is in fucking Japan, okay? Like, the one thing that they probably recognize is the literal fucking Mao suit.
Republicans are going to put these clips everywhere. Like, people seem crazy when they see this stuff. And they are...
Really, they did. They did put the clips everywhere. We saw on Facebook, people fucking seemingly loved how stupid it was. They did this exact same thing to Fox News. Oh, another tan suit controversy. So why don't you feel that way? Why don't you feel that way, David? Why don't you feel that way? That
Here's the thing to look for my media thing, for my media idea. See if you hear any other leftist people, Majority Reports, Vanguard people, Pisco or Soy Pill. See if you hear them repeat this talking point of like, oh, when like Obama wore a tan suit. This is an example of kind of like the seeding. I guess streamers can do it organically on their own platform. They don't necessarily need another person to talk to. And then see if you see other people pick it up uncritically and repeat it. Even though like we all know that this is a fucking lie of a talking point. Like this is like, it's not just a random suit you're wearing that they happen to think is not kosher or not a good color. You chose the Mao suit.
Republicans are manufacturing outrage again. Republicans manufacture outrage professionally. Perhaps it's because you also, not dissimilar to the Republicans, find my kind of politics to be repulsive, dangerous, bad. Perhaps there's a disagreement here that goes beyond reason from your perspective. I don't know what it's about. Probably has a lot to do with foreign policy because that was the one.
And I feel like this is some kind. I feel like I've seen a movie with a scene like this or whatever, where like you question, dear leader, you think I'm wearing a Mao suit? Huh? Interesting. Is that because you want homeless people to starve to death in the street by chance? You Jewish financier wannabe? Huh. Interesting that you would say that. So anyway, David Pakman, he's from Argentina, by the way, seems to want people to die in the streets because he didn't like my suit. Just like how Rush Limbaugh, who wanted people to die in the streets, didn't like Obama's suit. Interesting. Interesting that when the conservatives attacked Obama for being a socialist, because he wanted to give us the ACA, he defended Obama. But when they attack me for wanting to give you Medicare for all as being a socialist, he attacks me. What's going on here? What's the difference? Israel and AIPAC. Like, it's so fucking stupid, bro. Get me out of here.
Come on, David. We've always had our disagreements, but I've always been cordial because David's been cordial. This is definitely, I don't think David, I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think David knows the extent of the madness presented by this cult. Okay? I'm going to be charitable. And I'm going to say that because if he did, he probably would not be defending this. Bro,
why is he talking like a mafia boss to Deepak? Because this is what they do. But his fans understand the mission. He doesn't have to give the orders directly. This is why I get so mad when fucking Connor's like, show me where he says go dox the person. He doesn't have to say it, bro. None of them have to say it. They understand the mission. They got it. This is insane. David A. Pakman was on the gamer side during Gamergate. Is that even true? Was he even involved in gamer communities at all? Pakman still frequents the subreddit. David Pakman pays APAC. David Crackman is a chorus stooge. David A. Pakman, friends with Sex Pestity. He's spiritually part of the silent generation. A. Pakman, just say you want to lick the boot. Like, this is insane, bro. Oh, David Pakman posted in my subreddit. The Brigade is incoming to my subreddit. Does anybody have a message from from his Discord? Fuck, somebody sent this to me earlier. I read this earlier on stream, but heads up, Discord TOS violations seem to be becoming fast and hard. There seems to be either an uptick of scrutiny or an automated enforcement of specific phrases. We've had situations where users receive Discord strikes and even temporary suspensions for messages that quote hate speech or repeated in an obviously sarcastic/mocking manner. Hasan's fan base joined the Discord server and they started mass reporting it. And I guess if Pakman is to be believed here, I guess they're spamming his subreddit. I haven't gone over to check that. I bet if you look at David Pakman's Twitter account, I wonder what his mentions are like right now. The Pentagon is now reportedly out of money. I wonder what could have caused this. I wonder who was behind the Iran war. David A. Pakman. You're a spineless freak who is now just a mouthpiece for the right wing. Jesus. Is this just a bot? Is this really just a... I don't believe these are real accounts when I see shit like this. Where did you get that ridiculous stat? And what did that study list voter ID as? Very disingenuous interpretation of the facts if you ask anyone with a brain. And also, I think the rot here is you claim to be independent media when you were caught lying about the dark money from Chorus you were receiving and the narrative controlling you and Brian Tyler Cohen were doing. You're going to start a right of left of center campaign funded by other dark money now? Hasan thoroughly dismantles your hypocritical bullshit. You're the establishment's last breath. Jesus Christ. Epstein orbiter pivots to fuck Hasan for relevance. Remember when you didn't know how to pronounce APAC? No wonder you never got a career in acting. You support the serial rapist destiny. Like, this tweet didn't even have anything to do with me or Hasan at all, or anything related to that, by the way. The Pentagon, the tweet was, the Pentagon is now reportedly out of money. I wonder what could have caused this. Like, nothing here was even related to, but like, Jesus Christ. Bro, the anti-Semitism, it's crazy. His name is David A. Pakman. Oh, and they even spell it. Oh my God. Is that really his middle name? Does it start with an A? If you read it phonetically, you'll know the sole issue that really animates him. Oh my God, dude. Has he always been this right wing? I never watched him, but I thought he was sort of like establishment progressive. I love these tweets of like, so I don't know anything about this guy, but isn't he a fucking cultist rapist? I haven't watched this guy's stuff before. I didn't know he was a Nazi. Has he always been like a Nazi, cultist, rapist, murderer that hates poor people and minorities and is Islamophobic, guys? That when you phrase things as like a question, I feel like it's like how Gesticle talks now, where it feels like every time he's talking, I think I can't tell what he's saying because he asks everything like a question, because he has no self-esteem, because he's a fat fuck. 1,000 likes. Jesus Christ. David A. Pakman hasn't been progressive since October 7th. Destiny and the Cultural Revolution destroyed tons of actual Chinese history, but some things Chinese because authoritarian types hate actual honest history. It is in an authoritarian's brain to always rewrite history anytime you can. That's why the Soviets or whatever, when they talk about Russia and everything, they never want to go back to the Russian Empire. It's just when the Soviet Union started. And they have to rewrite as much history as possible in order to make everything fit. Hitler did the same fucking shit when it came to Germany. Palestinians and Israelis, depending on how far left or right you go, do the same shit with fucking Israel, Palestine. People will do the same shit with every country. It is every loser fuck authoritarian because they can't cope with reality. They can't cope that there was some imperfection in some model or ideology that they admire or fantasize about. They can never handle reality. Reality is never good enough for these people. So they have to invent some fictitious past that gives them some fantastical endeavor to aim for in the future. It's loser behavior. I'm sorry, but it's loser behavior. Why does he seem exceptionally ass-mad about Deepak? They'll get this way about anybody, but the biggest fear is that, like, the biggest thing that you have to prevent is anybody jumping ship. Because as soon as, like, 1 or 2 people jump ship, it becomes easy for a whole bunch of other people to jump ship. This is why they're so hardcore rigid. Why Doobie and all of them went so crazy for Connor and my community, or went so crazy for Wick, is because once 1 or 2 people manage to jump ship and survive, it signals to a whole bunch of other people that, like, oh, wait, hold on, maybe we're a little bit safer right here than we thought. So anytime you see any kind of disagreement, you have to, like, hardcore crack the whip and bring these people back in line.
Anyway, nasty thing for him to do is to make it seem to his own audience that the guy who spent the last fucking 7 years stalking the living fuck out of me, who has actively said,
stalking the living, roll the clip for the editors when you play it. Roll the clip of Hasan talking about, oh, I would be nothing without DGG. I would be nothing without these guys. If it wasn't for them, the Destiny's the greatest guy in the world. I would be oh my God, bro. 7 years.
Shout out to Destiny, by the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, yeah.
Oh, you know of him? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But when I watched that video, I was like, oh, that's cool. So we have, like, somebody in the gaming community who's actually pushing back.
Hell yes, that's actually Destiny's the reason why I know about Trihex as well. If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time. I was like, all right, whatever. Well, I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything. I have no option. I'm in the next 11 days. So much so that, like, Steven was DMing me on Discord and saying, hey, you know what? If you don't have a place to live, buddy, like, you can come stay with me. It's okay. What a good guy. Destiny is a great guy. Oh yeah, watch out. He gets real rowdy with that. Here, for all of you guys, is here, Fish and Destiny playing.
Okay, wait. Hey, listen. I love you.
What?
I told a friend that I would play a game with him, and then I have to get ready for that Scout podcast shit. Listen, don't worry. You're gonna get all my viewers who want to watch you watch it are gonna go to your stream.
Okay. I mean, no, it's fine. I wanted to watch it with you, but it's cool, dude. Friendship is just dead, I guess. Oh, Speedo McGee's your fan that gave me 200 subs so far. No, you're coming.
I thought this was like a convention. I thought this was like the Young Turks like office Christmas
it's
party.
A family party. I told you.
And why the f would I go to your family party?
I don't know what the f are you gonna do. Sit around and eat Chinese food by yourself while crying?
7 years a slave. 7 years a stalking victim. This guy.
That I deserve death. That I have made statements that are worthy of killing. Okay.
Every replay, all the lies. You know they're lies too, because if they actually had like the videos of these clips as unhinged as he says they are, he'd be playing them. Which is funny because sometimes he does have like the 2-second fucking Destiny versus Destiny clips that he can play, but
who has openly demanded actively. People in his community stalk me everywhere I go. Guy who has said I should be bullied and humiliated and yelled at if I'm going out to protest. I'm sorry, David Pakman, you know that shit. Okay, you know he's been doing that, and if David doesn't know that, he should hear about it. Okay? Because that's crazy. David Pakman, I don't think you are in favor of the targeted harassment that this fucking sex pest has conducted over the last 7 years. Because if you were aware of it and you're still making this video, that is the most disingenuous thing I've ever heard from you. It's worse than when you said, I don't know what IEPAC is. Okay? I don't know what IEPAC is. What is that? Those guys literally filmed themselves with their intent to disrupt an event that they were not invited to. They filmed the entire process. There's videos of it everywhere. Okay? That's crazy. I don't think you want to be running around defending a guy who has an active court case distributing revenge porn.
Distributing revenge porn. Yeah, keep in mind that the revenge porn incident, there is only one person that's even accused of doing revenge porn, and that's the guy that actually posted on QB Farms. Even the retarded plaintiff, as stupid and mindless as she is, has not accused me of revenge porn. She kind of did in her Substack, but that didn't show up in the complaint, which was already full of fucking lies anyway. I don't know why she didn't just fucking throw it up in there. But like, I like how he's trying to morph that event. Like, I'm the one that posted this shit on QB Farms. That his whole audience, by the way, attacks me for. That fucking Adam Mockler's girlfriend jokes about me fucking Nick Fuentes in. Like, all these disgusting subhuman fucking people have no problem riffing off of all of this shit about my life. Meanwhile, this guy brags about fucking whatever women he can find in brothels and then soliciting nudes from his child fan base on Twitch to show off to his weirdo fucking coworkers like Ludwig that are too much of a fucking pussy to actually say anything about it. Fuck all of these people. They're so weak. Holy shit.
His guy Darius is starting to go to people's houses.
Pussy,
yeah, one of the guys, one of his fucking friends, unironically is now talking about moving to Los Angeles to stalk me more efficiently. That guy who has actually received a restraining order from his ex.
That has nothing to do with any of this. Like, what, bro, you fucking wellness checked your porn star ex-girlfriend because she stopped returning your fucking phone calls. Like, this is a matter of public record. She's tweeted about this. We all know this, little bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Hi, please don't mention Hasan Piker to me. It's really hard for me, emotionally, because he called the cops, wellness check, on me when we were dating, plus has avoided my attempts to privately talk about it. I'm not a fan of doing this publicly, but we share a lot of our audience. I didn't need the wellness check, by the way, and I can't escape it online because of the nature of the leftist internet. I'm not trying to cancel him. Please just leave me out of it. This was like years ago that she tweeted this as well. So way before he even had the same amount of like rapist crazy influence that he has now on everybody's brain in this stupid fucking space. But like, he pretends he's so clean on all this shit, but it's just because all the people around him are so, like, he launders his reputation so much through people like Pokey and stuff, who are, and Maya and fucking Valkyrie, all these people that are too scared to say anything about him. So he trades on all their reputations to make himself look so much better than he actually is. Speaking of, I'm sorry, I didn't play this earlier. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know what he actually says here. Maybe it won't be that bad.
You can say what they want to say, even if they're wrong. Keep in mind, there's a lot of incels in this community, and I think that has a lot to do with me being a World of Warcraft streamer. But either way, so you like Epstein. What type of motherfucking jump was that, bro? Why is everyone saying ban?
I wonder if that was supposed to be a reference.
Do you guys
to me?
really hate Hasan that much? He's so nice. Really. He hates this country. Don't most of you hate this country too?
Mod him, he is a rule enforcer.
So you guys like living in America? He's manipulating you. I'm a 36-year-old man. Do you think I can be manipulated by a tall, sexy, good-looking dude? There's no way. I do things that you probably don't like.
Yeah.
Like we took that fucking side.
I like how he just leaves him here.
Did you leave me alone in a room with like a propaganda video? What is going on?
Like, on Twitch, by the way, like, this platform is literally watching this dude who has no fucking idea what he's watching, like, trying to get radicalized for, on this crazy, I don't even know which terrorist organization this was for. Are these the Houthis? Houthis? Okay, yeah. The Yemen flag.
This is a 3-minute video of, what do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like, bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know.
No. They do like,
what is
they do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you, look, you think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like, their fucking,
musicals? Are you fucking retarded?
Their actions all the time.
What does he think a musical even is?
And they love walking over. They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
Song where he's just like, what are you doing? He's
saying they do not care about the heavy missiles. Like they will literally take the war to them no matter what. It's an act of for them. It's an act of resistance. You know what I mean?
Act of resistance, because when you're resisting anything. But I'm sorry, but for Nick to be like, "What? I'm a grown man. I can't be propagandized."
At one point, because they're so kind to me, deserved. But like, I know these guys as people, as human beings, not just streamers. I'm not fence sitting. How is that fence sitting? I've known them forever. It wasn't always this way, guys. It wasn't always so political.
Who made it that way?
It just keeps going in like this way, like this. This is where everyone was at one point. Then slowly, it just kind of kept going like this. And
I like how these spineless fucking cucks won't actually say what's going on, and they just pretend it's like randomly happening. Like Hasan is literally like, he comes up to this guy's table, he takes a shit in his fucking cereal, and then he starts eating it. He's like, I don't know what's going on, guys, but I feel like cereal just doesn't taste the same way it used to. I'm not really sure. Hasan like takes his third fucking diarrhea. Man, I don't know what's going on, but like something's definitely up with the cereal. We got to talk about this guy. Like, bro, like spine the fuck up. Holy shit.
Nikki's here in the middle, just getting crapped on both sides.
Oh my God, bro.
We're keeping Hasan.
It's just spineless behavior, dude. Holy shit. Such a whiny, weak man. Can't stand him, man. As this guy here, his body is fucking fading away, withering away on the cocktail of injections that he got from his little CCP buddy, as he's too afraid to even... Do you see this guy scurry out of the... only time I will ever compliment Hasan Piker is I've never seen, outside of Kenya, a man run so fucking fast. When that speech ended... and he took off for that fucking door. Security could barely open the door in time. He was glancing over his back, petrified that somebody would show up with one of my fucking plushies. Jesus Christ.
Nothings. And the hardcore extremists who would get...
Bro. He's trying to play the victim and he didn't even go, yeah, bro, you were invited. Clearly they don't fucking hate liberals. What do you mean? Like Jamie Raskin was a speaker at this thing, right? Like the idea that the Young College Democrats of America, the College Democrats of America is some radical fucking organization is ridiculous. I am probably the most radical person that they allowed to speak at the event. Most of the other people are just like regular Democrats.
Jesus Christ.
You were invited to it. You chose not to go. You had other obligations. That's fine. But like very clearly, it's not a anti-liberal space at all. It's not an illiberal space at all. There's many different ideologies, and it sucks for you that, my worldview is also being represented more and more within the Democratic Party. He's saying that Destiny should have been let in. Yes, the reason why I'm bringing up the fact that he was invited and Destiny was not let in is because I don't think David Pakman would ever be so fucking stupid as to literally live stream himself and his weird psychopathic restraining order having besties openly film themselves with their intent to disrupt a speaking engagement.
I wasn't even on a live stream before I got barred from entry, and none of the people on the live stream were disrupting the event. Like, you're just lying, bro, because you're a pussy-ass bitch. Above everything that you know, just know at the end of the day that I am a 5'8", weird little, comes from fucking Cuban white trash family, brokey fuck, okay, who flunked out of music school, okay? And Hasan is mad because he's not as smart as me, because he gets cucked and he feels bad about it. He was crying on Trainwreck's podcast because he dated a porn star. This guy calls me a pedophile, and he was openly bragging about going to fucking Diddy parties. This guy tries to pretend that I'm a fucking sex pest sex freak, and this guy was talking about finger banging trans people and sending nudes to all of his friends on his fucking on his nepotism granted frat boy show for Jang. All of these things are documented online. Every single thing has been seen. He's the most insecure, weak-willed motherfucker on the planet. This guy can't handle the slightest, tiniest bit of pushback anywhere. But it's not even just him. Every single authoritarian is like this. They're all like this. It attracts the worst fucking people. And then the anti-Semitism is like the brain rot on top. That's how you know they're like truly the most brain-rotted fucking people. It's the same thing as Trump in the fucking press rooms where he'll only talk to the media people that he knows, that he likes, that are friends with him. And Hassan's probably texting on it. I bet this guy texts more than a fucking 15-year-old girl. Like, hey, I saw your video today. I saw that you said something mean about me. I wanted to, what was going on? Hey, Philly DeFranco. So there's a lot of talk about the DNC. You're not making a video on that, right, Philly? You haven't, I hope you know. You know that everything about this is a lie, right? I hope you haven't done a video on that, right? Hey, Ludwig, I know we're just coworkers. Okay, and Nick, yeah, but like, Jesus, this guy is like, oh my God. Kill me, fam.
But we've got to get them to get things under control right now. I've said before, I've never been a Democrat. I don't care about the Democratic Party beyond who offers the better candidates, and usually it's Democrats over Republicans. But we've got to make sure that we don't allow that party, if it is the vessel, at least for now, to something better than what Republicans are offering, to be hijacked. This is about,
Again, big dog. Timeline of what caused him to be banned from the event. Someone made this is very helpful.
Oh, we got a timeline on the subreddit. Yeah, a timeline. Hold on, I can't read that. Those numbers. Sorry, they're behind the chat. What does that say? 8/17. Is that like a timestamp? August 17th. Did I do that in the future? Oh, this is a fucking year ago. That's what they banned me for? For a comment I made a year ago?
His location should be publicly available at all times while he's streaming. If Dan wants to do something useful and still be a Hasan hater, yeah, someone should send this to Dave Pakman.
This is what you already do, little bro. You do all of this shit. The only difference is I'm not a pussy about it. The only difference is I don't have to have people like Gisticle fucking live stream obsessing. Oh yeah, if you're trying to infiltrate Democratic audiences, people should be aware of that. And I stand by those comments. People should be aware if you're trying to infiltrate. They do the same thing with ICE. They do the same thing with the feds. They do the same thing with the cops. They did them with the BLM protests when weirdo agitators like you, and you admit to being an agitator, show up. Yeah, they should be aware of it, and you should be ejected from these movements. Go start your own or bring your own fucking people, and don't try to be a weird fucking cancer that sneaks its way in up the asshole of the Democratic Party.
David Pakman to be like, hey man, do you think this is defensible? Yeah, saying stuff like, just a heads up, I'm gonna be doing some mass harassment campaigns on every single journalist who gives this guy free interviews from now on.
True, you should ask real fucking questions. Just like, by the way, you want to know what a mass harassment campaign looks like on a journalist that you don't like? By the way, it looks like this. And this isn't even what I'm doing. My mass harassment is, you should have to ask a real question if you're going to interview this guy, okay? Otherwise, he's too dangerous, and drop it. Don't do it. Nothing that I've talked about is even remotely approached this level of crazy, anti-Semitic, obsessive shit. This is crazy, bro.
Is the College Democratic event today open to the public? Smile. This is the fucking, this is...
What does this have? This is the timeline? I feel like I'm watching the intro to fuck, what's the DC Avengers? Not Deadpool, the guys. What am I thinking of? The Suicide Squad. I feel like I'm watching the intro to like the Suicide Squad 2, where they get like the 4 random people together and they die instantly. What are we looking at? This is Destiny. Says he's gonna harass journalists that don't ask me fair questions. Here comes Darius. Got into a fight with his ex-girlfriend on stream.
The guy that's a part of his cult. This is him harassing other people. Yeah, doing fucking harassment campaigns against Destiny's enemies, like trying.
That was the harassment campaign?
Trying to get physically in their space. And here he is.
Get physically in their space as he walks by her.
Filming himself with intent to fucking...
I feel like there was a higher chance of me getting killed at that fucking Trump rally that I went to like fucking 20 years ago or whatever. Jesus Christ, I really even remember that. Where was I? I feel like I was at an event with, I think it was with Bose and some people. I thought they were gonna kill me at that event. But then they told me to leave and I was like, hold on. I shouldn't have to go anywhere. I'm an American citizen.
Disrupt this event. Entire timeline of different clips.
You wearing the exact thing that Hassan dog uses and ran around in it?
I told him.
Oh, not these guys. Oh my God! Whoa! There he is!
And then they pull her over, they would be
There you go.
Oh my God! Oh my fucking God!
I literally told him that and he said like, nah, don't pay attention to yourself. I literally told him that. We should have been more positive signed up, honestly.
Yeah, they're like, oh, next time we got to get better at our harassment ops.
How can he watch that with a straight face, bro, and not feel humiliated? Seriously?
Anyway, yeah, of course. Even if all the other previous things that Epstein has said about me didn't exist, just the fact that they fucking filmed themselves with intent to disrupt the event alone would be sufficient evidence in and of itself to say, yeah, sorry, big dog, can't let you in, you know?
Except no, because there was no harassment at the event. They were in the event. Nobody was getting harassed. Nobody got kicked out for harassment or disruption. That's why you're only playing footage of a bunch of people that, honest to God, looked like they just walked out of a fucking gay bar in San Francisco as your #1 fucking ops. I'm sorry, this is the guy that's gonna fight Trump and ICE? This is the man who stands proud and tall with his $20,000 PTSD tortured dog who's supposed to be fighting the fascist administration, is scared of a fucking gay Cuban kid and a guy in a fucking Hawaiian shirt who looks like McLovin from Superbad? Are we serious right now? And then the 4'11" wannabe elf girl? What? Like, these are your ops that you're petrified of? That the guy at the front with the kafaya that's probably never been worn more than once in his entire fucking life is out just like, security! Give me a break, bro. Give me a break. Are we being real right now? I just don't understand. He has this video up, and it's not like the most humiliating thing in the universe.
Yeah, fucked up too many times.
What are you talking
Damn, he got right to the security, bro.
He didn't stop at it.
He didn't even wait for this clapping to finish.
He was like, get me out of here.
He was like,
I gotta leave.
Look at him. Oh my God. My favorite part, wait, does it play long enough? He hears the door open. He's like,
What did you guys think, Chad? Did you guys like it? So I don't know what we're going to do with DSA. Like, I thought maybe we could... Oh, okay.
He really doesn't stay to shake hands or do it. Shut up, loser. No one cares. Watch. Shut up. No pictures, no nothing.
Coming here.
Damn.
Or hotel.
He said, I gotta bounce. Get me the fuck out of here.
Okay, well, let's, all right, chat. We're gonna head back to the hotel because I have a next guest. Next guest is
it's
going to be
you edited out
Raj.
Oh, there it is.
Parna Raj, DSA, DSA DC.
What is he actually? I'm so curious. What does he actually think is gonna happen? He heard the door open. He's like, he's traumatized. Jesus. My YouTube guy said this is what Hasan thought would happen to him.
Destiny, I have one question.
Hi, what's up, buddy?
Why did you tell the IDF soldiers to turn off their
DSA loser
cameras because you're pro-genocide?
Well, that's why, I guess, because I'm pro-genocide, right?
So you're pro-genocide. Okay, thank you. Thank you for putting that on camera.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I love you, Destiny.
Thank you so much.
Sex Destiny.
Thank you.
Shout out Hassan Piker.
Nice headband.
Stop. Okay.
It doesn't hide the balding.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? I like him.
Oh. Destiny, thank you for helping me along my own political...
Hasan is such a fucking pussy, dude. Oh my God.
Also, that motherfucker literally celebrated the State Department releasing their document on Cuban terrorism. So I don't know why anybody...
Is this about me? Oh, wait, is he talking about the accusations of Hasan and the Code Pink people? Is that what he's referring to?
But he thinks this guy is actually in any way, shape, or form even a fucking liberal. He is unprincipled as shit. Didn't Nira just last week say she supports AIPAC over you? Yes. There's a war.
Wow, there's another one of his fucking enemies on Twitter that he's constantly beefing with.
There's a war America itself has started and is in right now, and it's frankly shocking that there are no protest IRL on here about it. No one seems to care because every Democrat Fetterman has voted against the war. That silence really lets Trump off the hook. The audacity of Nira Tanda to spend 90% of the time boosting AIPAC-backed candidates and the other 10% complaining that there aren't enough anti-war protests is breathtaking. David Pakman knows I don't think he knows the full details. I think these guys are fairly sophisticated in their, mass harassment operations. Like,
the mass harassment operation was David Pakman saying, I kind of think it was not good that the DCA banned Destiny from their event, and then that that Hasan was in a Mao suit. That's the mass harassment campaign. All criticism is harassment and stalking, by the way.
They find people that they find to be like ideological allies or close enough ideologically. And David is somewhat of a boomer. I'm sure he knows.
Oh, always listen when he's talking about these accusations, because he's telling you this is his blueprint. This is how he operates. He's not even creative enough to fabricate another bad action. He just has to project whatever he does onto the other political actors around him. So let's see. How does he function here?
I don't think he knows the full details. I think these guys are fairly sophisticated in their mass harassment operations. Like, they find people that they find to be like ideological allies or close enough ideologically. And David is somewhat of a boomer. I'm sure he knows a big part of it, and he does agree with Destiny on many of these issues. And that's part of the reason why he takes this oppositional stance. He's literally in the past told me, or he's told his audience that I said that he was being paid for by AIPAC or something, when it's ironic that I said the exact opposite. I just jokingly referred to him as David A. Pakman.
Oh, it was a joke. Oh.
So you don't think it's pandering to his liberal Epstein audience? I don't think Epstein has that big of an audience. I think he relies on all these other much larger groups.
How am I controlling larger people? Like, I'm simultaneously the most terrifying person in the world, but also like irrelevant. Like, yeah, that's me, bro. Behind the scenes, subtly twisting the wires over the brains of all of these larger content creators that I have so much influence over. Oh my fucking God, bro.
Much more influential groups. And even if David himself knows, I don't think his audience knows as well. I don't think his audience knows that this is what Epstein is up to. What AIPAC man knew, logs. Here's David knowing about Destiny's issues from 2025. David Pakman drops out of an event he was co-headlining with Destiny in June, citing reputational concerns. Official statement from Pangburn regarding June 22nd event in Queens, New York. I regret to inform ticket holders that David Pakman has chosen to withdraw from a scheduled appearance at the anti-Trump tour event.
Yeah, this was the event that he pulled out of because you guys started mass emailing him.
Wow. David, why did you pull out of this event, David? That's crazy. That's crazy. So the guy you chose to defend. So when the College Democrats of America do the same thing you did last...
He didn't even defend me, by the way. I don't even think he really defended me. He said that going up in a fucking Mao LARP suit is a bad look. Well, it's not. It's intentional for Hasan.
Last year, when the College Democrats of America did the same thing you did last year.
And this isn't David Pakman canceling me from an event. It's him deciding not to appear with me after getting email campaign harassed. But this isn't the same thing because he's not pulling me from an event, you fucking retard. It's not even remotely the same thing.
You side with the guy who you said you couldn't be around?
Notice the sides, too. The campism comes out here, right? It's the sides. You're either with Destiny. Notice for a guy who says that my politics are spite-based and my entire political outlook is defined literally by my personal petty opposition to Hasan, and now he's taken David Pakman's entire issue with the whole DSA weirdo extremist shit, and he's boiled it down to, well, you just must be friends with Destiny, and even though he's a way smaller creator, I think he controls you because you don't like me because of Destiny.
On May 9th, prior to signing his contract, David was fully informed of the event details, including some of the public accusations that Destiny is currently defending himself against. With full knowledge of these circumstances, David agreed to participate and sign his contract, allowing us to proceed with a formal public announcement and ticket sales. On May 9th, shortly after the announcement was made, David informed us that he had received some negative feedback regarding his participation. Despite previously indicating that he is not troubled by this and suggesting that the negative feedback may have been instigated by agitators, David and his team later cited reputational concerns as their reason for backing out.
Oh, so he was worried about getting mass harassed.
David Pakman still frequents the subreddit. The Brigade is incoming to my subreddit. Wrong. Show is bigger than ever, fortunately. Oh, so he's still in Destiny's subreddit. He's still posting in Destiny's subreddit. Oh, so he does know everything. Okay.
Oh, because if you posted the subreddit, you must be a frequent poster who knows everything about Destiny and all of his drama. And I'm sure he's read every fucking filing.
No, I don't think his audience is probably going to be fond of David Pakman's back and forth opinion shift on this issue, but...
The audience. These are all signals to his audience to go and do the mass brigading and harassment, by the way.
In any case, I got to go. I got to do a podcast, okay? Love you guys. Again, I'm done. Wait, what the fuck? What is it? For Hasan Content's bag postcard. Okay.
Who gave him that? Cutie Spineless-Derella just casually walking over here as he finishes his mass harassment campaign with a journalist so she can walk off to film her $20,000 a month net profit podcast with him. Based. So nice. Good job, Twitch. Great platform, by the way. How much do you think I would have to advertise this show for them to cancel? Because they're doing a fucking live show on August 29th. Do you think he would cancel it? Oh my God. Fucking cringe. I never want to hear again in this country. Maybe it's once you get to a certain age. I never want to hear people go, how could people have ever gotten radicalized by Hitler? How could people have ever ever fallen for this stuff? Meanwhile, like 3 random normies just like collecting an easy 20K, 25, 30K a month because of the amount of money they make being on a podcast with this guy, like saying nothing. It's just actually fucking insane. So cringe. Wait, hold up. Wait, why have I not seen this before? United States District Court versus Blake Govea. Criminal complaint. The defendant did threaten to assault and murder ST, I don't know what that means, a member of the immediate family of a United States senator with intent to retaliate against the United States senator on account of the performance of his official duties. I am a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, currently assigned to the Charlotte Division, Raleigh Resident Agency, Safe Streets Task Force. I've been an FBI law enforcement officer for 9 years. During my time as a law enforcement officer, I've drafted or assisted in drafting arrest and search warrants that have been presented to and signed by federal magistrate judges. Also, I've conducted and assisted in numerous criminal investigations. I make this affidavit in support of a criminal complaint and arrest warrant for Blake Aaron Govea. Based on the information detailed below, I submit that there is probable cause to believe that on or about November 22nd, 2025, in the Eastern District of North Carolina, subject committed the crime of retaliating against a federal official by threatening a family member in violation of Title 18, probable cause. On November 24th, 2025, the United States Capitol Police contacted the FBI regarding a threatening phone call made to ST's personal cell phone, assigned number blah, blah, blah. ST is the wife of a current U.S. Senator. USCP relayed that they were contacted by the staff of U.S. Senator who disclosed the following. On November 22nd, 2025, at approximately 10:54 a.m., ST received a phone call from an unknown male using an unknown telephone number while at her residence in Huntersville, North Carolina. The call lasted for approximately 13 seconds. During that time, the caller used explicit language and stated in effect that ST needed to die and the caller was going to kill her. The caller also made reference to Medicaid before ending the call. Before the call ended, the Huntersville Police Department was contacted and responded to the scene, or after the call ended, ST was afraid and shaken after the call concluded. Law enforcement conducted enhanced patrols of the ST's residence following the call. U.S. Senator staff also disclosed in May of 2025, subject left voice messages and sent emails to the office of U.S. Senator. In addition, subject called the personal cell number of one of U.S. Senator's staff members. USCP submitted an emergency disclosure request to Verizon Wireless, the service provider to ST cellular telephone. They traced the call, and they found the guy. Subject stated he was the sole user of the cellular telephone, and the phone was protected from other individuals utilizing it by a PIN code. Subject expressed to investigators his frustration with being removed from Medicaid due to his multiple physical and mental illnesses. Subject informed investigators that he was suffering from stage 4 cancer and multiple mental health issues, including post-traumatic stress disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, and autism. Subject said that he could not receive treatment for his mental health concerns due to a lack of funds after he was removed from Medicaid. Although subject could not afford medication for his mental health disorders, subject stated he regularly took prescribed opioids and benzodiazepine, which subject described as a hypnotic medication to treat his cancer. Subject could not say for certain who he may have called on November 22nd, 2025. He denied calling ST, though did state that he had previously contacted other appointed or political figures to express his frustration. He stated that he never threatened anyone. Subject owned a firearm, which he kept in his room. Subject declined to allow investigators to search his cellular telephone and advised investigators that his phone was located inside of his car. Subject asked if he was required to continue answering questions, to which investigators advised he could stop answering questions at any time and the interview was consensual. Subject elected to cease answering questions and the interview was terminated. Investigators conducted subsequent interviews of Brewer and subject's other family members. Brewer informed investigators that subject was bipolar and had cancer. In addition, subject once was sexually assaulted by his cousin, and Brewer believed that this may have contributed to his antisocial behavior. Brewer did not feel comfortable with subject owning a firearm and had asked him to dispose of it on several occasions. Brewer informed investigators that subject was the only person with access to his phone or his firearm. Subject's brother, Ryan Govea, expressed that he was unsurprised that subject would make a threatening call to a politician or politician's spouse. Govea opined that subject had anger management issues in addition to other mental health concerns. Subject spent most days isolated in his room playing virtual reality games. Subject regularly listened to the social media influencer Hasan Piker, who Govea considered to have a far-left political ideology. Subject's stepfather, Dallas Wetherington also expressed that he was unsurprised by subject threatening to kill a politician's spouse to the behavior subject regularly displayed around the household. Taylor Lorenz and Hasan all supported that, like, making death threats. You see Hasan has made the threats. He's, like, posted the pictures of the gun and shit and talked about, like, the Rick Scott memes and everything else. And then you have, like, people in his audience. This isn't even the first one, right? We had that news article before of that Hasan Piker fan. This guy?
Looks like it. He's got credentials.
Hi, are
What's
you the
good?
guy?
Mackie, good to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
What's going on?
Good to meet you, man. There you go, Marsh, good to meet you.
Marsh,
here you guys go. Kids
Whoa.
for you guys.
Let's
Do
go.
you happen to have a tote bag or something?
Yeah. Big
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, you don't want to carry all that around the whole time?
Well,
A Michigan man has been charged with making terrorist threats in Illinois. This was published on September 9th of 2025. Police say the threats caused many businesses to close early. The investigation began in July when businesses began receiving threatening phone calls. Evidence was seized. Blair was arrested. Mackey was arrested and taken to the Madison County Jail. He was charged 11 counts of making a terrorist threat. Blair received the same charges.
because our bag is just
Let's go.
filled to the brim right now.
Welcome to Ham Chamek. Welcome to Keyworth. Have you guys found the city so far? Good time?
Amazing.
Yeah. It was funny. I was dying earlier when you were talking about the Detroit sign because the whole city got fooled on AI on that. The
Yeah.
concept that everyone saw was AI, and then they put that out and everyone was like, dude.
Okay, that's the thing is, it's ass.
No.
I just hope that, like, if it finally happens, if something does happen with one of these people, I hope that Twitch falls for it. Like, I hope the fact that they, keep in mind, they preemptively, like, perma-banned ICE from everything just because the threats and everything, because they thought ICE Poseidon was too much of a liability. But, like, Hasan is out here, like, it's, like, so stupid because if one of his fans does, like, haul off and murder somebody, people are going to look back and they'll be like, where were the signs? And it's like, okay, well, he was tweeting out makeshift weapons that were used to assassinate the Japanese prime minister. Sure. Okay, yeah. He was watching terrorist propaganda on stream saying that these people were based. Yeah. He was on a podcast with another guy saying that even baby settlers were valid military targets. Yeah. He was justifying every form of resistance against oppressive fascist forces. Yeah. He refused to disavow violence on his side at any time ever in saying that all forms of resistance are justified. Like, oh, shit. Actually, wait a second. This was the most obvious fucking radicalization event ever. It was actually the most obvious thing in the universe. It was actually the most foreseeable thing fucking ever. Who would have guessed? Yeah, the ELA comments and everything else. And then these fucking losers, and then, I'm sorry, generally he's an ally, but I'll call him out for it. I'm sorry. The spineless fucks like XQC, who are too lazy to read anything, will look at my comment in chat and go, well, actually, I think Destiny, it doesn't matter what the context is. Destiny's making death threats. Fuck off, fucking loser. If you don't have anything to say, if you're not even gonna fucking look at the video, if you're not even gonna watch the context, like, it gives such a free pass to all of these fucking lunatics. What is this? One of Hasan's mods? User, Gorby Chav. Mod Flare. Moderator, 4.5 year subscriber. Ela Klein when she sees an unshot baby. You guys need to stop pretending like what Elias Rodriguez did was bad, hasty, or negative anyway. There's only one path forward, and it isn't through fundraisers for aid. They'll block or raising awareness, so people attend protests they'll ignore. You need to get real. This is the guy who shot and killed Yaron Lachinsky, the Israeli diplomat, and Sarah Lynn Milgram, the guy who shot the two Jewish people. Elias Rodriguez, 31 of Chicago, was charged in a 13-count superseding indictment unsealed today in U.S. District Court with multiple terrorism-related offenses in connection with the May 21st, 2025 fatal shootings of two Israeli embassy staff members outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in downtown Washington, D.C. Most of us will never muster up a fraction. Where the fuck was this posted? Is this Twitter? Most of us will never muster up a fraction of the courage displayed, but the least you can do is shut the fuck up about optics or not wax poetic about how this will lead to more repression. The only way out is through, not by accepting that things get 0.5% worse every single day.
I think that when you say harass journalists, it's actually kind of bad optics, and you're giving Hasan a free way to attack it. I think that when you call Hasan like when you say pedophile or whatever about the brothel stuff, I think that it's actually bad optics. You get people to attack you.
Hasan fans, actually, I think assassinating Jewish people in the street is fucking based, and that guy is beyond reproach. We should all be supportive. The only thing he could have done more brave is set himself on fire afterwards. 4.5 year subscriber and Hasan mod, by the way. Shira Bibis. Bibis? Where is my beautiful baby? Me hiding my conspicuously Kafir Bibis shaped belly. Burp. Hamas rape camp. Was this one of the hostages' parents? Are you serious, bro? Oh shit. Was she one of the people seen on one of the motorcycles going back to Gaza? The Bibas family kidnapping was 2 different events. The top is the first kidnapping. Yarden Bibas, behind the man driving the motorcycle and holding a gun, being kidnapped to Gaza. And then Shira Bibas holding her 2 young children during their kidnapping. Oh, were all 3 of them killed? Or in November of 2023, Hamas claimed that Shiri Bibas and her children had been killed in an Israeli airstrike. They offered to return the bodies. Jesus fuck, bro. I don't even fucking know all this shit. What the fuck? This is on, by the way, this is on fucking Palestiniapedia that's been mind raped by Palestinians and everything and all the weird pro-Pali fucking losers. So this is the Pali safe version. On November 30th, the last day of the 2023 Gaza war ceasefire, Hamas offered to return their bodies and release Yarden Bibas, but Israel insisted that all living female hostages be released first. As part of the January 2025 Gaza war ceasefire, Hamas released Yarden Bibas on February 1st, 2025, after he'd spent 484 days in captivity. On February 20th, it handed over coffins that it said contained the bodies of his wife and sons. Israel verified the remains of Ariel and Kfir Bibas through DNA testing, but accused Hamas of violating the ceasefire agreement after finding that the female remains did not match Shiri Bibas or any other Israeli hostage still held by Hamas. Hamas handed over another body the following day, which DNA testing confirmed as that of Shiri Bibas. Jesus Christ. Bro, hold on. You're about to fucking radicalize the fuck out of me. By the way, just a real quick thing. If stuff like this looks fucking disgusting to you, imagine seeing this stuff like 1,000 times over. This is why a lot of Jews went more right-wing after the Second Intifada, because this was their fucking daily life. But the fuck is this? Hold on. When stuff like this gets dug up and you go over it on stream, it seems like Hasan basically never needs to answer for it because no other liberal repeats it, because everyone else is a fucking pussy. They are pussies. They are here for money. Maybe there is one piece of correctness that you could say that the leftists say about liberals is that they have no fucking values and they're just here to collect a paycheck and grift and then fuck off. But none of them will talk about this shit. So of course he never has to answer for it. I don't think embassy staffers should be murdered regardless of the war crimes their country is committing. Why, lol. Trying to appease my less edgy moots? Okay, fine, it's a Zionist-occupied Republican government. How did she predict the color? Because she only dates thoroughbred white men. Next question. I wonder if this guy's XVids account is actually accurate. Because if it is, this dude is literally a 47-year-old male. Holy fucking shit. Oh, Moots is mutuals. It's just so fucking cringe because, God, dude, if I hope I don't get killed by one of these motherfuckers. Because if I do, no one is even going to make him answer for it. No one is going to look at all this shit. They're going to be like, oh, that was a crazy guy. And then fucking retards like the soy fucking loser and Pisco the fucking loser are going to be saying, well, there's no way that he could have actually known. Not the poor man that was upheld at TSA for 16 minutes. There's no way that we could have ever known that Hasan was being radicalized while TSA pulled over for extensive 16-minute interrogation questions where Hasan volunteered up a whole bunch of unnecessary information and literally nothing fucking happened to him. There's no way that anybody could have called him out. It's actually so fun. The funny thing is that I don't even have to hate him on like a political level. I just hate him on a personal level. I have enough reason to personally hate him. And I think anybody would understand. The guy that calls you a pedophile 24/7, the guy that like doxes and harasses people constantly. All right, it's all good. What a depressing state of affairs, bro. Our shit is fucked.
Good morning, all. This is Christian, the Michigan House State Lead. I'm coming at you from the great city hall of Lansing, the capital of Michigan. As we get our canvassing operations on the ground, I already have people moved in, we've begun training, and we have picked up our voter registration forms. They can be dropped off at any fire department, but more than anything, we want to go door to door, hear what people's issues are, hear what they really care about, and make sure they are ready to vote in this upcoming primary. There's never been a more important time, and we are looking forward to getting started.